Hey, Liberians. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I think you guys in Australia. It must be morning out there. Today is July 29th, 2026. Welcome to the show, to another edition of the Class Reloaded. We're broadcasting like again here live on the east coast of the United States. It's approximately 4 p.m. here on the east coast. I know you guys in Liberia, especially. It's roughly 8 p.m. In Liberia, wherever you are across the globe, we say welcome. Welcome to the show. Another beautiful edition of the Class Reloaded. Like I said, today is July 29th, 2026. We want to welcome all you guys from all across the country. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. While you're continuing to come here, man, I say you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Let's talk Liberia, yo. Thank you, thank you. That was a Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund. As Liberia is going around the bend, gradually making the transition from being an extremely poor country to a country that is connecting its roads, improving its electrical grid, improving basic infrastructure. Those of us in the diaspora, we have a duty to the country to invest in the country. Liberian entrepreneurs will go to the country to do the Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund. I believe we can make a big impact in the country if we continue to collaborate and raise money to send to the country. These reminders are fitting for this time. We send home between 400 million United States dollars to 800 million United States dollars every single year. The money is not channeled properly. As we begin to make the transition to build something in Liberia, and we got a proper leadership at the helm in the person of President Joseph Boakai, we Liberian in the diaspora, we have to find a way to channel our money properly to transform something in Foya. We can build institutions out there, help build Liberian industry so we can create local Liberian billionaires. We can build something in Saniquale, in Lexington, or in Fishtown, or in Barclayville. We can build something in the country to the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. And I will continue to ask you guys to join this effort. Our last day is February 28th of 2027. That is the last day to purchase share. You can call me anytime. Share is $100 per share. You can call me directly at 774-578-1963, or you can visit our website, LiberiaDiasporaEquityFund.com. We have to put our money where our mouths are. And we got to say, we're going to put money into Liberia in strategic ways to create local jobs on the ground, to create a relatively high degree of employment in the private sector in Liberia. And I believe we can do this. So please join the Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund and let's expand the Liberian industry. I want to welcome Fumi Masakwe. Blamoto is here, Louis Yasia, Thomas Simwe. Welcome, Mr. Simwe. How are you doing, sir? My brother David Akwawala is here. Francis Pupule, how are you doing? My brother Martha Doki, my sister, welcome to the show, man. Let's talk Liberia today. I know a lot is going on in the country. The noise will not stop. It's not going to stop today. It's not going to stop ever. But we will always be here to highlight whatever is important to Liberia, to change the narrative. You're welcome to the show. You're welcome.
I am Africa. I am the mother. I am the song of creation. I am Africa. I am
For me, I want to see the city square that you just looked at. I want to see some in Wiala. I want some in Saniquile. I want some in Vonjiman. Yeah, get it out or better. I want some in Foya. I want it in Saniquile and Ganta and Fishtown and Sesto. Let's build this country. We are making progress, but we need to ask for more collectively. Campos, Silo, welcome out of Philadelphia. How are you doing? Aaron Herman, Clarence Molo Benson, Mr. Benson, welcome. Funk Kakea, welcome to the show from Soul Clinic Community. Joanna Harris, welcome, my sister Joanna. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Samuel Bale, welcome to the show. How are you doing? How is everything on your end? We will continue to make sure Liberia is put to the forefront, not in the back. We're not going behind, but it is important that we pay attention to our young women in the country. I know you guys have heard this phrase: if you truly want to build a nation, you must educate a young woman. If a man gets educated, he focuses on his family, raising a family. When a woman gets educated, she focuses on the entire community. In fact, let's hear our minister, urban, what do you call it, minister of internal affairs. I'm just trying to forget. Fatima bin Nasser, the minister of local government. That's what I'm looking for. Let's listen to Fatima briefly.
Today you just grace the occasion I relate to female loan in Liberia or the inclusion of female in financial services. You got to speak. What is your own takeaway?
The takeaway is that women are the backbone of every society. Like there is no exclusion to that. Therefore, we are ensuring that we empower women at the highest level, making sure that they become landowners, where they can use those deeds to empower themselves, go to banks where they are not being challenged, they are able to access loans, they are able to improve their lives and their livelihood. And that is why we're here to educate them and make them aware of those incentives that are available to them that they are not aware of. That was the reason why we were here.
Female were employed by the former president, Ellen Johnson, said that in many banks around Liberia, they usually pay back, and it was validated by one of the creditors. Tell us, does this mean that female are really doing well? They're going to need to be top off in terms of.
I think they just need to be assured or reassured of who they are and what they bring to the table. Women are the backbone of every thriving and improving society across the globe. And so I believe that if they're aware of who they are, what they bring to the table, they will understand that they are empowered. They are one of the backbone of the Liberian society. So her saying that today was no surprise, as our women, and you can see our mothers, they will sell, they will do everything. They'll make sure to take care of the home, and will still go out there and express themselves at the ballot boxes. So of course, we are proud of them, and they pay back when they own loans. There are some of them that will run away. I mean, those ones who are not aware. But if you tell them the more you pay, the more you can go back and borrow, the more you can empower yourselves, the richer you can be. You can move from generation to generation and spread wealth. You will be aware. So, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, that was the Deputy Minister for Local Government, Mala Fatima bin Nasralif. She's absolutely right. If we want to grow Liberia very quickly, we have to empower the women. I'm not just talking about the typical way we think about empowering women in Liberia. You're giving government job too? No, of course, give them government job too, of course. But there are other things women can contribute to the economy aggressively, especially in the business sector. In fact, most countries that are looking to quicken the pace of development in their country, they expand women access to finance across their country, and women can turn money around quicker than a man can. So big shout out to the Deputy Minister there for local government for advocating for women across our country. We must empower women if we are truly going to empower Liberia. I want to welcome Tina Cooper. How are you doing? Lorena Quarto, how are you doing? Yes, absolutely. Clara Ricks, welcome to the show. My brother Samuel G. Sarabasa, Momo M. Solomon, Mr. Solomon, welcome to the show. Absolutely. Yeah, and we must empower women if we are going to grow. In fact, some people are saying that will be helping women. No, we will be helping the country. So think about it as empowering women expands the help to the country. And I want to continue to welcome you guys from everywhere. Let's listen to our former president of the country.
If you want more banks to open, if you want investment to come, they have to have confidence in our government. A government that they must respect, a government that they can rely on, a government that has the reputation to attract. Otherwise, they will attract only the bad businesses like these drug people who come here. So we have to build that confidence. Government has to have that confidence to tell the people, come to Liberia, bring us your money, do your investment, do your business, make sure you get what your return. They will not bring their money, their business for nothing. They will make money, but make sure that the country also has its fair share. And we as people must have confidence in our government and can rely on them, on the government, to do the right thing.
You know, one thing that bothers me is when Double, Brother Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, this Double, that had a golden opportunity to truly transform Liberia. Now, all of a sudden, she has all the answers to Liberia's problems. Madam President, I'm going to say this to you. Allow this man to lead without you always trying to find things to backbite. President Baka is fully aware that we need investors into the country. This drug issue, look, I was listening to Twe. You know, he runs around and say President Baka should have solved the drug problem in 3 months. Really? The Americans have been fighting this drug issue since the 1970s. They set a special task force. The Europeans, massive organization, they are fighting this. In less than 3 years, President Baka has put a halt, literally put a halt to the spreading of drugs throughout the country. He's fighting this aggressively. And you will get people that were passing around saying you should have solved it. I'll play some of his tip again. This is why I'm not playing this tip. What he said, in 3 months, you should get it under control. Really, you have 6 months, 6 years rather. You expanded drugs across our country, and you want a man to come in 3 months and he should solve the drug problem. That is not going to win you any favor. To Mala Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I'm going to say this to her. We want investors to come to the country. When you were governing our society, over $16 billion were invested into the country, according to you yourself. Well, I saw him begin on. Over 16 billion United States dollars. That's 4 times our entire GDP was actually invested into the country. What did Ellen Johnson Sirleaf do? With the exception of just paying her sons crazy money and say, you're putting it on me, you're blaming me on. Liberia is improving. Liberia is improving massively under the Joseph Boakai administration. And you can see this being manifested literally everywhere across the country. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. To show that improvement, let's listen to Honorable Sharif at LEC first.
381,000 people will be connected through electricity. You know, the president, every time I met the president, when I tell the president we have increased asset, the president said that is not enough. I want you to reach that 75% before I can leave office. So, part of that draft, the 381,000 is part of that. So the Saudi firm has already committed for the $9 million. Please clap for that. So the remainder 140 million, we are yet to dedicating this road, and I can tell you, the study is ready. They've asked us, we've submitted today. So our development partners, we want to thank you. We look forward to working with you. We've been working with you, and Mr. President, they've been very responsive. So again, congratulations, thank you, and we look forward to working with you to really delivering the goods for the people of Bong Lofa County that will open the economic corridor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over 300,000 homes in Bong and Lofa County are going to be connected to electrical grid. That is progress, Madam former President. The government is working. If you have all these solutions, Madam President, what happened before. Now, to even show you more that the government continues to work, I want you to look on the screen, y'all. They've brought a bunch of cows into the country from the Ministry of Agriculture to give to farmers so we can increase our protein, our beef production in the country. You know, our brothers, the Medingos, they understand this 100%. People in rural Bond County, even my own grandfather, they had cow, they had goats, they had pigs, they had sheep. These things must come back to Liberia. The government of Liberia has brought this into the country. This is some of the progress we're talking about. Let me read an excerpt from the Ministry of Agriculture web page today that they published this today on the website. 200 Monturu cattle arrived to boost Liberia livestock sector. Liberia has reached another important milestone in its journey towards food security. The Ministry of Agriculture has announced the arrival of 200 live cattle from Guinea and Mali, a major step in the government's effort to revive the livestock sector and strengthen national food production under President Joseph Yohan Boakai, Liberia Feed Yourself's agenda. Agriculture Minister Dr. J. Alexander Nuta stated that the cattle will be distributed to farmers in Grand Crew County, where the government will also rehabilitate the county ranch through the public sector investment program to support sustainable livestock production. So most of these cows are actually going into Grand Crew County, where we have massive livestock production. To our people in Grand Crew, you open your arms. Your government is coming home to you. In another significant development, some of the Maturu cow and bulls will be transferred to the Central Agricultural Research Institute, CARI, to support a national breeding program through a partnership with the International Atomic Energy Agency. The collaboration will enable CARI to carry out artificial insemination using the cattle to improve breeding, strengthen Liberia's national herd, and enhance livestock productivity. Renowned for their resilience, natural disease tolerance, adaptability to West African conditions, and strong productive capacity, the Maturu breed is well suited to support the growth of Liberia's livestock industry. Yes, the president has invested heavily into cattle breeding. Most of this is going into Grand Crew County, not just for job provision out there, but to take some skills into Grand Crew County and let's start the production of our own feed locally. These are some of the things that are happening across the country. The government continues to leverage its position to make sure that everywhere in the country something is happening. So to our people in Grand Crew County who are listening on Radio Butol, those of you who are listening on Smile FM, those of you who are listening on Radio Sound or all the way in the Southeast, the president is sending over 200 cows to be bred in that location so we can have some feeds out of Grand Crew County, because I believe back in the day, the government had these farms out there in Grand Crew County. I guess it's a location that is well suited to raise these cattle. Big shout out to the president and the Ministry of Agriculture for undertaking this. This is why the president said, I have a mission. This is President Joseph Yohan Boakai speaking. I have a mission. My foremost concern is to ensure that the lost image of Liberia is restored. I cannot entrust this responsibility to anybody else. Mr. President, lead from the front. And this is exactly what the president is doing. And I also want to highlight that the government of Liberia has charged 12 people in the 317 million cocaine case. Liberia record 317.68 million cocaine case has moved from allegation to formal arrest and police charge filed at the Painesville Central City Ministerial Court. I'm sorry today. I don't know what's going on with me. I can barely talk. So these people have been charged, and some of the charges before the court. These are the names that have already been charged before the court. Something is being done about drugs in our country, and the president is completely serious about removing drugs from Liberia and stopping any entry of drugs into our country. Those accused includes Joan David Garces, Garces Grajalis, Sadan Silis, Edison Brown, Mohammed Alpha Ba, Jamel V. Jala, Christopher Say, Christian L. Yanti, Casey Nelson, Siku, Nana Tom, Michael, and Abednego. Prosecutors say most suspects are still being identified. Okay, they face charges including drug trafficking, conspiracy, illegal possession, and firearm-related offenses. Authorities allege the group used a fake aviation project at Robert International Airport and a fishing business in Bombing County as cover for operation dating back to 2024. The cocaine was reportedly moved through coastal route before the July 1st, 2026 seizure in Morovia. So an official charge has come down for these people. But before we forget here tonight, we want to wish the President of the Republic of Liberia happy 54th wedding anniversary to His Excellency Joseph Yuman Boakai and the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, Malakotuma Yata Boakai. We wish them every blessing that God can bestow upon them. May your love story continue to inspire Liberia and the world. Reminding us all of the beauty found in lifelong dedication. This is what we talk about responsible leadership at the helm. Our leaders supposed to be people we look up to for inspiration, people we aspire to be, people that can set a standard in the country that we aspire to. And I think President Boakai has done just that. Happy 54th wedding anniversary to both President Joseph Yuman Boakai and the First Lady of the Republic of Liberia, Malam Katuma Yata Boakai. And to Liberians, let's celebrate our president as he celebrates his 54th wedding anniversary. Way older than me. President Boakai has been married longer than I've been alive. That is a great thing, something you don't see so easily anymore. This is a challenge to all of us to continue to aspire to greater things, because if we do well, Liberia does well. But sometimes we can't be serial whole day about everything. Once in a while, we got to listen to some tapata. Let's listen to Zopen on Fred before I get to the tapata.
That's the kind of responsible government we want. We then retire ourselves and mother and wait to the development policy. Amanda Weto with blue lapa and red hat and photo development because of you. Because we never voted this government, so I'm selling the political bridge for us to be able to cross to the executive, for the executive to be able to come to us. That's why you see Yellow Machine Park. That's why we saw the Yellow Machine Park yesterday. Tomorrow, road will come and slaughter all the way to World Jewel. Tomorrow, all our farm to market roads will be accessible.
We believe the war about. We believe the war because we see the reality. Actually, we are seeing the reality now.
Yeah, for this, for the wonder. No stop. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
I told the people I'm going to be white clothes. I'm going to wear white clothes. Let me hear. Are you slippers?
Yeah, yes.
Before I rain boots.
Oh, yeah. We're not talking about rainbows.
To the people of Grand Judah County, I'm so happy that you're listening. And one thing Senator Zopeno said to the people of Grand Judah County, he said, and I quote, let's graduate from Amanda Awedu politics and let's gravitate towards development politics. Let me talk again. Let's move from Amanda Awedu and let's go to development politics. In translation, the people will scratch your back, that the people back your must try. The people of Grand Judah County need to develop too. And development will come to Grand Judah County because this is a great county in Liberia. There must be development in Grand Judah County. And to our people in Grand Judah, thank you for listening and understanding that Grand Judah County must get what Grand Judah County deserves. Don't vote on Amanda Awedu. Vote on the person's capability to deliver to your county that which your county needs. This is the essence of not voting for Amanda Awedu, but voting for the future of your children. That's a challenge for the people of Grand Judah County. You must understand it. Go ahead and understand that Liberia has to develop. But it can get too serious. Once in a while, we must take the economic policies of the previous administration. And before we do that politics, let's listen to our economist from the CDC.
Expensive, when you know that you have a shortfall in the budget, then reduce the rest so those who are that not even working but making ends meet can buy. So when the shortfall, we cannot again support scarcity. You understand? So what needs to be for needs and wants? The rest is expensive, when you know that you have a shortfall in the budget, then reduce the rest so those who are that not even working but making ends meet can buy. So when the shortfall, we cannot again support scarcity. You understand?
That the ones who are talking about that. And y'all listen to him, he say, the man say, I don't want President John They brought me here.
It's sad to say that I'm not a politician. I was brought on board by these people. And the people brought me because they wanted something. You understand? So what we're doing.
Now, hey, but Liberia must go in front, and we are no longer going behind. I want to welcome all you guys, man, from across the country as we approach this thing. Benjamin took my welcome. Benuska Dole, Malan Dole, how are you doing? Malan Dole. And Teresa Kamo, welcome to the show. I don't know if you ever related to Kiman Dole, a great friend of mine that passed away a few years ago. Kiman, rest in peace. It's so Dole, reminds you of her. Queenie Lovegrave, how are you doing? Julie Barnew, welcome to the show. Esther, how are you doing? Fulman Livingston, Uriah J. Nangbe, Mr. Nangbe, how are you doing? Who else were missing here, man? Everybody, man. Mayor Jackson, Brother Jackson, welcome to the show. Grace for Cornea, all over Liberia, man. Yeah, thank you for popping in here. You know, CDC boys believe they can destroy this administration with stupid propaganda. You know, but what they don't understand is it's not going to work if you're just going to lie, and eventually the lie is going to break. Now listen to the finance minister put this into perspective for us before we start the show.
Because if you think that we are weak-kneed people here, that you will sit in one corner and say you'll spew negativity and you will break this government down, oh, you are completely mistaken. We know, let me say this, I will tell you this. You say you propagandist? When you started this thing, huh? We can wear multiple caps. This government has men, and you will, if it is your duty to go and every day put spew negativity, your diet you feed your people.
I watched the video when he said he doesn't.
And the finance minister is right, Minister Gaffon is right. And I'm gonna say this is why I'm a big advocate in the back to put resources toward not just the class, but to radio stations across the country to educate our people, because there are people truly in the country they are bent on lying and publishing false documents that most of the time in less than an hour they immediately debunked because they are false and they're lies. Talking about the government is not fighting drugs, which is a lie. Oh, they just fired Gary Coleman, they published something which is a lie, easily verifiable. But it's not going to work because the people eyes are open. This is one of the most dangerous things you can do. I love to make this analogy because it's just fitting. It's easy to understand. You took a girl from somewhere and you took her somewhere where no, she don't know anything. Take her from the village. Let's do it that way. She don't know anything. And you keep her in the house all day. You mistreat her, whatever way you want. And then gradually you'll move to the city. And the girl elbow open, and then somebody else takes her and treats her with extreme dignity, pave her roads, gave her dignity, bring cow and dump the cows into Grand Crew County so we can expand our cattle industry. Bring electricity across the board. She got a beautiful home. She got a personal vehicle. She lives in a dignified home. We give her honor. The get elbow now open. You think they get stupid to go back to that moho where they used to be her every day? You pay her, say she cannot go back. This is the case of Liberia. The people of Grand Crew County eyes are open. The people of Lofa County are open. Wow, we Kolo. The people of bombing, the are open. The people of Bon County, the are open. So now, how you will close the arbor when the arbor already open? So you come with propaganda because somebody who used to pay 25,000 Liberian dollar to drive into Grand Crew County in the middle of the rainy season, and now they are paying less than $10,000, and you're going to tell that person that land road we eat. I know pretty soon you always say that land cow we eat. Let me show you a small more before we start the show tonight. Yes, the government have brought in 200 cows in the country, and the intent of that cow is to spread them all across the country, and most of this is going into Grand Crew County, where there will be raising the cow. Some will go to Kari for scientific reasons, for artificial insemination, to make sure they expand the production of cow in the country. Eventually, I know back in the day in Lofa and Nima, a lot of people raise cattle out there to make sure we spread the cattle across the country to improve the protein intake of our people and provide a lot of jobs, especially in the southeast. Most of the cows that are going to Grand Crew, this is a great place, open fields, and eventually they will spread to River G, they will spread to River Cess, they will spread to Rural Bassa, and most of Nima County. This is going to spread all over. This is a great vision by the president. Currently being the minister by Dr. Nuta for the Agriculture Ministry. This is what we want for our country. And somebody will tell you, say, we won't go beyond again. Like, when I agree, yeah, we're not going beyond. We are going in front. Honorable Nuta and his team, and they're just wait till the agricultural machines get here. The expectation they will get here before September is over. Once they get into the country, the agricultural machines will be distributed equally to expand food production in the country. Remember that the president wants Liberia to be food self-sufficient, and he's doing everything humanly possible to make sure that happens. I know we covered Manamiata yesterday, but I saw this take, and I just thought to share very quickly before we start the show.
Well, he was a disaster for the country. Go to Liberia now. They will tell you he was a disaster. No, it's just the truth. It's not damning. My thing here is I have sympathy. I can even have sympathy for George because I know his limitations. He had absolutely no interest in governance, in governing a people. He was just happy to be president. Enjoying himself, doing a booger dance. This man was a football player. How do you expect him to come and read a 530-page budget? Had no idea as they were reading it. They didn't even bother him with those kind of issues because he could not deal with it. Yeah, that was George Weah. I mean, I know a lot of people mesmerized this football player. And in fact, some of my friends, Nigerians said, when I said, oh, he was a disaster, and really? They are also...
The old man, right? Every time you continue to listen to the whole broadcast, you know everything the old man said was entirely true. He had no interest in the presidency. Yeah, my brother Augustus Naplika, those cows will go very well in Grand Crew County. This is why the Agriculture Ministry has selected Grand Crew County to send all those cows to Grand Crew. But small the cow will go to Kari in Bon County for research purposes. But they will start the operation out of Grand Crew County, and as Grand Crew grow the number, some of them will spread into Lofa, they will spread into Nima, they will spread into Bong, they go into farmers to be able to grow these cows so we can increase our food intake. Additionally, you remember now the agricultural machines are coming, over 300, I believe 304 different machines are coming to the country to push that. So this is the aim of the administration, and we will continue to embrace this because overall it is good for Liberia. Once again, man, to everybody coming in here, thank you so much. Darcy Camu, welcome to the show. Tracy Wright and Barbara William out of Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody, man, let's recognize the radio stations that are relaying the show across Liberia before we start the show today. I want to say big shout out to Classic FM out of Margibi County, Kakata Margibi County. Classic, we know you guys. We heard you guys may be slacking a little bit on us. Please, you cannot do that. Radio Margibi out of Margibi County, we say thank you for relaying. Voice of Lofa, in Lofa County, TV and Lofa. Welcome, Peace FM out of Habel. Radio Kwatike out of Banga, Central Liberia, Bon County. Ablije Radio in Grand Bassa County, we say you're welcome. Thank you for relaying the show. Premier FM out of Banga, Bon County as well. Radio Gompa in Nima County, in the mighty Ganta, the city that never sleeps. Big shout out to our brothers in Ganta. We see how you guys doing out there, man. Radio Yalimba out of Seklipi in Nima County. Top FM out of the mighty Zwedru. Zwedru, big shout out to our people in Zwedru. Thank you for opening your eyes and loving Grand G there. more than you love any one individual. This is the take. Remember that always. People listening on Top FM is Radio. Radio Sando out of Greenville, Sando County. To our people in the southeast, they're sending 200 cows so we can raise cow out of Grand Crew County and expand the numbers into 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 cows across Liberia. It's another opportunity for possibly export in the future if we can grow these cows. Big shout out to the Agriculture Ministry, Smile FM, Alazweju. Welcome. Thank you for relaying Radio Booto all the way in Sando County. Trust FM out of Bombing County. We say big shout out to Punch FM out of Mozzarella County, Bujo Radio, and DC 101. All you guys, man, thank you for relaying the show. Liberia is getting better. It is all of us' task to ensure Liberia gets better. Let's start the show, y'all.
Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing JMB and JKK progress all across the country.
The Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can.
Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can. The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today. Turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The Class Reloaded, always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new order. Respect to the hosts, they keeping it real. Liberia future, that's the deal. The Class Reloaded,
truth.
Liberia rising,
progress.
JMB and JKK,
develop.
The rescue mission, we move soon.
The Class Reloaded,
truth.
Liberia rising,
progress.
JMB and JKK,
develop. The rescue mission, we move soon.
You're welcome. Yes, my brother, 200 cow. The Agriculture Ministry has determined that Grand Crew County is one of the best places that these cows can grow. So the government brought in the first 200 cows, and it will be going to Grand Crew County, well, mostly in the southeast. And the Agriculture Ministry will have a massive farm out there to grow these cows for food self-sufficiency. And a few of these will go to Kari for research purposes to make sure they are artificially inseminated. And the goal is to grow the number. So Grand Crew County will be the base of these cows. We'll have a little discussion here tonight about it. We'll try to invite somebody from the Agriculture Ministry to come and tell us on the intent of these cows and how to expand them. It's also about drought provision. And that could be a location where we can set up a whole factory out there for these things to supply the Liberian market with meat. And hopefully the West African region we can export to the rest of the country. I want to welcome all you guys that are coming in here. Look, yesterday, when the young people were singing, when because of the rules that were out there, and I played this. In fact, I didn't play this briefly before I speak on my lamentation today, so you can understand the context from which I speak. Let me tell you something that has crushed Liberia for a very long time. It is the lack of hope. One of the reasons we used to see DV is being played. In fact, the Americans made more money from DV applications than they actually than the people they brought to America. Let me just put it into context. It seems every time there was DV being played in Liberia, everybody went to play. And I understand why they were going to play, because we had no hope. One of the ways to maintain your population in your country is to give them hope. And this is something President Bwaka understands. He recognizes that we're going to give hope to our people. Let me tell you something, whether you believe this or not, ask anybody in America, ask anybody in Australia, I'm talking about Liberians, ask anybody in Europe, and you say, Benjamin Toba, let's assume Benjamin Toba is in Australia, and Benjamin Toba makes $50,000 every single year. That's the average, by the way. That's what average American white or black make here. That's what the average Liberian make here in America. If you ask Benjamin Toba, if I give you $25,000 guarantee in Liberia every year, will you move to Liberia? Will you stay in America? 99%, with the exception of people who are not sick, will say, I'd rather move to Liberia on 25, on half my salary. I will move to Liberia. The only reason why Liberians are being kept here now is because of their children in most cases. But most people who don't have children or the children are grown, if they can get half their paycheck, what they're making here in America, they will not be here. I say this to say this. If you gave up people hope in their own country, they remain, they go nowhere. You provide them jobs. You gave them the basic amenities that is required to live a modern lifestyle, clean drinking water, constant electricity, decent quality infrastructure, security. They remain in their homeland. This is what we must do to Liberia. We must give hope back to our people in the Southeast. Look, I was watching a video, I think it was 2 days ago. I didn't know this. In the Southeast was one of the largest exporters of bananas out of West Africa at one point. We exported enough banana to America, to Europe. We were exporting bananas. They had an entire plantation in the Southeast. Some people who are older here probably remember this. I didn't know this. We can go back to that, give our people hope so they can be able to work, so they can be able to feed a family, so they can be able to raise proper Liberian children. You say back here, right now, you, so they can be able to raise proper Liberian children in Grand Crew County, so they can be able to do what they want to do. Look, most Liberians here, my wife can hammer me, honey. I won't go home. 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 Because the peace of mind, the less stress, you can be yourself. This is the hope we want back to this country. And this is why I love that President Bwaka continues to challenge his lieutenants. He told Brother Sharif at LEC, he said, Mr. Sharif, I don't want 300,000 homes. I want 75% of Liberian homes across the country before I leave office. 75% of the homes in Liberia must be connected to the power grid. That means Liberia has to output more power production out of our country. If we can build a new dam on the St. Paul River that can generate maybe 500 megawatts of power, and we add it to, as we approach 300 megawatts of power, we can generate anywhere from 800 to 1,000 megawatts of power. We can electrify the entire country year round with constant electricity. You know, if we have electricity, we can do a whole lot more. It doesn't mean we wouldn't want to travel. The boss say, "My brother, just give me $10,000 a year. I will be home now." I can't wait. I say exactly. If we can get that power, Of course, we will want to travel. It's a human mind, right? I want to go see Australia. Maybe I want to go see Dubai. I want to go see UAE. I want to come to America. I want to go places. But now they tell them every minute I pack my leg, I go back weekend, I go sit down there. And then we build it to the way we want. Because if you're living at home, it's a different kind of feeling. This is the hope we want. This is the hope I want to come back to our country. As these young people, to the people in the Southeast, your president has sent you your machines. There will be more machines coming for River G County. I believe 15 or 19 of them. There will be more machines coming for Grand Crew County, 15 or 19 of them. More machines will be coming into Sano County. More machines will be coming into Riverside County. All the farm to market roads will be opening. If you have a land out there, if you have lands, travel land, plant something that is marketable. I don't care. If you don't want playing Grampy, on 50 acre, you playing all Grampy. If you don't want playing Beta Ball, on 50 acre, you playing Beta Ball. Don't worry about it yet as these roads open. When you playing Beta Ball, somebody that Marcia snotting or Marcel will come and say, you know what wrong? I will buy my little small machine. It costs 50,000. It's a Beta Ball processing plant where you can package the Beta Ball. You put it into bottle. We ship it for the American market. Now we get suppliers all across the country. So now, like a 50 acre where you are living on, in over there, that bush, that 50 acre now generating you $10,000 US dollar every single year. Now you live in Grand Crew County making $10,000 a year. You will improve your standard of living. This is the vision of this president when he talks about farm to market role. It is economic access to our people. This is what we must do collectively. When we talk about Liberia, when we say we are not going back, this is what we mean. We got to go in front. How I would say, you know, how about Kolaka say, oh, Twalu, I can make $15,000. I will pull it out of my 401k. And the people who are making okra, I already made connection here with Market Basket or Prices Right. I don't know what grocery store you have in America. They say if I can supply them okra and package it. Now she said anybody who play okra and from Bomi to Lofa to rural Mozzarella, I will buy the okra for you. She has a massive okra processing facility that packages okra. What you call it, the suction bag, Ziploc, it seals them airtight. Whatever they call, somebody help me. You can seal it. You know the vacuum, the vacuum suction pump. She seals it. She sends it to Stop and Shop. She buys it from you. Now you are in Kimau. You get your 50 acre. You plant some okra. She buy it for now. You're making $15,000 US every year. She takes it. She sell it for $25,000. She cover her overhead. She made $5,000 from it, but she's doing it with 35 different farms. But in her factory, she got 300 people working in her factory. That's how we create Liberian millionaires. And this is the vision of this president. We must do this. We must do this. So our people, as you get your hope, I want you to use your minds. I want you to tap back into your brothers and sisters in the diaspora with some means. But you have to be honest. You have to be diligent. You have to be industrial. You have to commit. Nothing happens overnight. A few weeks ago, I think I said on this platform that a lady called me and said, oh, Dwalu, we send the money and we didn't get our interest. I said, Monday, you read it, we send you. Nothing comes overnight. This is the point I'm trying to make. After 2027, it will take us 3 years to be able to generate any kind of money. So we got to find something to invest into. Nothing happens overnight. If any investor call you and tell you, oh, give me your money tomorrow, I'll give you 20% interest. I don't say they're lying you, but I'm going to guarantee you're not going to get your money back. Because nothing that is important that is going to generate money for you happens overnight. As soon as the guys come on board, I'm going to bring them in. Most of them have not come in yet. That's the reason why you have not seen them. So there are so many things that can happen in the country. Those of you that are far away from Monrovia, as these roads begin to open up, I want you to sit down and dream about something that you can market. Like I said before, you say, you know, right, you're going to Princess of Kitty, and I will be the largest supplier of Kitty for people in Monrovia. Maybe somebody will come and say, you got 100 acre farm or kitty, we'll buy the kitty for you, we'll package it. My people in, let me tell you something. The kitty we can buy it. I'm joking, you can follow a hand generally, like $5 US. It ain't even follow a hand goes on like $10 US. If you want to go to Bogi, you're far in your horse. And you want to go to Bogi, you know, here we don't go to Bogi for 1 day. We can cook the soup for 5 days and then a whole week soup. So to cook that soup, $100 US. When you put all the particle inside with the kitty, that $100 US. You have to go to Bogi. So imagine you get a 100 acre kitty farm. Like kitty farm now, Sakuiji can come in and say, no wrong, I'm gonna be the larger packager of kitty here in Liberia. And then you buy the kitty from you. So you want to start opening your mind, start looking for things to do. When the machines are coming, find something that will make you some money in Lofa County. Find something that will make you some money in Nima. Find something that you can grow, or find something that you can make. If you're a carpenter, be the best carpenter that can go from farm to make horseshoe, or to make sure they take care of the cow there. If you learn biology, try to collaborate with something. Listen, I learned biology, and this is what I can do for cow to get an injection. I can import it. Look at the thing down, because we got to create Liberian millionaires. This is the vision of hope. This is the vision of hope. Councilor Man, welcome to the show, my brother. What's popping? What's going on with you, brother?
Thank you, Tualu. The first thing that hit in my head is that I want 200 cows in one burn to Grand Crew. That one you want to start killing nights. Everyone go take
it. I don't get it, cow.
Everyone go start giving injection. And who get you just go say that I do biology, get cow injection. So
y'all down there, yo.
You know, but Tualu, let me say good evening to you, and let me say also good evening to our compatriots, our fellow Liberians at home and everywhere around the world. It's good to be here with you. You give us serious inspiration. Yes, let me say good evening to all of you. I know somebody said you say you're going to be reading the text message. It's a problem, bro, because when I look at the text message, it can be easy. I don't know how we'll be doing it. Maybe during the show, but we'll find a way to be doing.
No, we'll find a way. We'll refill. You know,
I try to highlight. As we'll be talking, maybe we'll be reading some. But Dualo, I'm glad to be here today, and I'm excited. I had also personally thought about that because Grand Crew has shown to be one of the, if not the best place in Liberia to rear cattle. It has natural vegetation. Look, the grass is all year round green, and
why they pick that place.
Yes, I think I have seen herdsmen from Mali. People take their cows, they walk through Guinea, all the places, and bring it all the way to Grand Crew to come and raise their cows.
Joking?
I'm telling you. And you know, the guys, I don't know how they manage to can walk like that, but I've seen it. And right now, if you go to Grand Crew, especially around Pygnices and the other areas, you will see they have a lot of cow there, and they are very fresh. They're fat. Yeah. So that is one great thing. And for me, it also shows, you know, identifying the potentials of the county. I've also seen around that belt a lot of cassava farms. I don't know if the Ministry of Agriculture look into that also, but I've seen a lot of cassava farms. And seriously, the cassava that is grown on our side too is not easy. You know, for very many products, we can look into that. But you know, somebody get legal issue again. Here you go, but you're way small. You know, my opening today, I wanted to do a little bit of, I think it is important for some public education, some public legal education.
Take your time, just you and I.
Yes. You know, today I listened to our senator and our principal for our school, this particular reloaded school, Senator Dillon, who has some great, fantastic ideas, and he was pushing on judicial reform, you know. And I think that everybody has spoken about judicial reform, reforming the laws, reforming the judiciary, which I think is good. But you know, certain things that he spoke of brought some things to my attention, and I thought that we needed to set some things straight, because when you making the reform, you must come from an informed position. I know Senator Dillon has had great experience. He's not a lawyer. But he has great experience and in the practice of law. But sometimes it's not everything that you just see on the face of it. So a couple of things he said that I thought I just needed to quickly let the people, because he spoke to Liberians, to get. I don't know how come he said that. You know, when some of the justices went for confirmation hearing, he posed certain questions to them they couldn't answer. And that had to do with the authority of a justice in chambers deciding whether or not to issue a rate when a rate goes before that justice. So I was a bit shocked that the justices couldn't give him the legal reference, because he said he asked for the legal reference. The first of all is the legal reference starts from the Constitution in Article 75. Article 75 of the Constitution says that the Supreme Court, it gives the Supreme Court the sole authority, and it says the Supreme Court shall from time to time make rules of court for the purpose of regulating and the practice, the procedures, and the manner by which cases shall be commenced and heard before the Supreme Court and all other courts. So Article 75 of the Constitution gives the Supreme Court that authority to set the different rules of court that will govern the practice of law in the court. And then the Supreme Court own rules based on Article 75. The Supreme Court set rules of the Supreme Court where you have that issue about remedial rates, and that is in part 13 of the rules, and they call it remedial rates, which means you're in the court, something going on, then you want to go upstairs to the justice in chambers. And that whole part, I'm not going to read it, but that part 13 says that any party before the court can file a remedial rate to the Supreme Court. So, for example, Dualu and I, we are in court on a particular case. All right. And then there's a particular application of the law that a judge is doing that I'm not satisfied. I said, no, judge, you are wrong. The judge said, I'm right. I have the right to go to the justice in chamber. I said, no, please tell the judge the way he's proceeding with this case. Maybe Dualu brings one witness. And I said, no, but this witness is not qualified to testify on Dualu's behalf. And the judge said, no, I will allow the witness. And I feel that the witness is not qualified. I can go to the justice in chambers and say, look, please look at this decision of the judge to allow this witness to testify in this case because I don't believe this witness is qualified for A, B, C, D reasons. That's what they call remedial rates, because the case is still before the court and you go upstairs, or the matter is before any other forum, administrative forum or whatever. So the law says, the rules of the court says the judge can decide to either send, first the judge will call a conference, so you send a citation to the parties. So we ask the judge, stop all the things you're doing, return to status quo. All the parties who got indicated here come before me and tell me why should I issue the rate or why I shouldn't issue this rate. So that is the rule that gives the judge that authority. The rule says if the judge listens to the parties in the conference and the judge issues the rate, then the judge must hear a full hearing of the case between the parties and make a ruling. And that ruling is subject to appeal before the Supreme Court, the full bench. If the judge listened to the arguments before in the conference and doesn't think that it warrants the issuance of the rate, the judge can decline to issue the rate. The reason I say I pick this up because, unfortunately, according to my senator, is that when a judge declines to issue the rate, then that person's justice ends for that person, which is not true. It's not a fact. Remedial rates are just temporary. And when the judge, you always hear the judge to ask, the justice will ask the judge to resume jurisdiction and continue with the case. And there is a reason, all right? There is a reason. So, and when the judge does that, it doesn't mean that justice has ended. And for him, he believes that when the judge declines to issue the rate, the case has ended. It has not ended. Even, let me give, because you mentioned one case, let me give the example. That's what I was asking about. He mentioned the case of Yeke Koluba. And as I said, as a lawyer and always in touch with issues with the Supreme Court of Liberia, I don't know if Yeke Koluba has any due process case before the Supreme Court. I don't know that. So I asked the senator to find out whether that prohibition case is before the Supreme Court or whatever, because he spoke about due process matter before the Supreme Court for Yeke Koluba. What I know before the Supreme Court for Yeke Koluba is a matter of contempt of court, and it's different. So the typical example of the Yeke Koluba case is that when the House of Representatives decided to take action on Yeke went to the Chambers Justice and told the Chambers Justice, these guys are proceeding wrongly, so please stop them. The Chambers Justice wrote to them and said, look, you got to stop, come to me, and let's listen as a conference. But then these guys went ahead and conducted the thing and decided to expel Yeke. Yeke went back to the Chambers Justice and said, but these guys disobey you. They disrespected your citation to stop everything and come for a conference. So the Chambers Justice said, oh, but then let me call them to see why, because that's contempt of the Supreme Court. No matter your authority, even the president can be doing any action. When somebody bring it up and the court say you have to stop and you continue, that's a contempt of the court. So when the Supreme Court brought the House of Representatives, the House of Representatives defense was that, but we didn't receive any citation from you. We were not served. any paper. All right. So we went ahead to do what we're doing because we didn't disobey the court. We didn't get anything from the court. As they say, they got it. So the justice now listened to it in the conference, had a full trial before the justice, and then the justice ruled that, well, by the law, these people did not receive, they were not served the notice, so they did not disobey the court. That is the matter. So you cannot hold them in contempt. So Yeke's lawyer took appeal to the full bench to look at that justice ruling that these people were not properly served. So that is the matter currently that is before the Supreme Court. Now, if the Supreme Court has ruled that these people were not properly served and they went ahead, Yeke still had a remedy before the Supreme Court to say, okay, since they went ahead, you say they were not served and they went ahead and expelled me. But now I'm challenging the mode of expulsion because they did not give me my due process right. That's a different case.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can go back to the Supreme Court and say, these people expelled me without giving me my due process right. And so this is the matter. I don't know if that step has been taken. If that step has been taken, then yeah.
You're saying due process. Doesn't the legislature has its own quasi-judicial operation? It still requires actual legal process if somebody is expelled from the legislature?
Yes, the Constitution says whatever rules you bring for yourself, wherever you do in the legislature, it must conform to the Constitution and the due process. But that's a different argument. According to the legislature, they gave him due process. According to him, they didn't give it. But what I'm saying is that it defeats the argument that the senator was making that when a justice refuses to issue the writ and say, I decline to issue the writ, that means the matter ends and justice is not served. Because even when he declined to issue the writ, if he had declined to issue the writ, Yeke would have still, when he had been expelled, he could have still come back to the Supreme Court and said the action taken by the House of Representatives was unconstitutional, and he could challenge it to the Supreme Court. And that is still the process going on. Because you see, in the senator's argument, he defeated himself. He comes back to say, you know, the way the case staying long in the court is because every time by the time they go to the court, small thing they put wrong upstairs, they go to the Supreme Court and say the judge can, according to him, where he said the judge can wear something and shoot today, walking something and with the other partying like it, go to the Supreme Court say, I'll stop the case. Let's listen to this matter. And this is reason why in almost all the common law jurisdiction, this is the reason why these interlocutory or alternative procedures are given to the sound, and it says the sound discretion of the judge. Because Dwalu, it didn't come out of the blue moon. Imagine if every single thing you're in court, you can't bring one, your lawyer say one piece of law. I say, no, that law, then I had the law looking, the judge say, but me, I see the law. I say, no, I'm going upstairs to the Supreme Court. Then the Supreme Court say, stop that case. The Supreme Court go, they hear the matter, then they go for appeal to the Supreme Court. It takes, then you come back. Another matter, the next day it comes here, go back. Imagine what is going to happen to cases. No country does that. No country does that. In fact, in the great United States of America, even at the federal level, they can look at a case and say, we're not touching this matter. The play coming from a stop right there. In fact, they have the right to choose.
That's right.
Which case they will listen to and which case they will not listen to.
That's right.
But for Liberia, we don't have that right. It says everybody who appeals to the Supreme Court, that case must be heard. So imagine every small thing before the court, somebody go up to, then the justice issue a rate. Because the law says once you issue that rate, then you must hear the case. And once you hear the case, you must write a ruling. And once you write that ruling, somebody must appeal. They can appeal, not must. But if they don't lay a ruling, they can appeal to the Supreme Court. So imagine every case. It would take 20 years, in fact, 50 years for one case to end. Just on those technicalities. So what the law does everywhere around the world is they leave it, in fact, sometimes they leave it to the sound discretion of the judge himself. They tell you, say, if you satisfy with that judge discretion, you got an option when the case finish, take an appeal and put everything in your appeal. All right. So some countries like Ghana and other things, they don't even send everything to the Supreme Court. They say no. The Supreme Court say not everything, unless that constitutional matter. Other than that, leave it with the judge. If the judge makes a decision you're not satisfied, continue the case. When the case is finished, you can put all that your disagreement.
It makes much sense.
Exactly. But if we have our Chim and Senator say when he comes back that from the thing he coming change, that the Chamber of Justice might not be saying alone to say that and say he will not issue the writ. And I said, well, these are lawmakers, they have the right to do it.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it from the informed position, then the same thing you're trying to do is you're going to destroy the legal system, because then every small thing will be going up. Then you say you put timeline. You cannot put timeline on when those kinds of things could be heard, because it is not the only case in the court. Right now, the Supreme Court is only wondering how they can handle. Have you seen the Supreme Court docket?
Because they overwhelm themselves, Councilor Ma.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. If it was like the U.S. system, where you have, even in the states, you have state Supreme Courts, you have Court of Appeals. In Liberia, we don't even have Court of Appeal. All right? I don't know which country doesn't have Court of Appeal. We don't have Court of Appeal. But in other countries, you have Court of Appeal. And from the appellate court, when they confirm the lower ruling, it is difficult for the Supreme Court to even overturn, unless there's real serious, grave thing. You understand? And the last thing I want to say, Senator, is that, like maybe I will not go into what the former president said, but talk about confidence in our systems. I think that sometimes when we appear and we don't have answer to particular issue, we just say, look, I'm not going to this matter. Senator made some statement on the Samuel Twe matter that I thought that it was unfortunate. They asked him about Samuel Twe case. First thing he said, I know they say that our trade tampering, what were they tampering, whether that were bribery or that were what, we don't know. But as far as it's concerned, the judge has ruled Samuel Twe as a free man. No, the judge did not rule that Samuel Twe as a free man. The judge reversed the juror's decision. The judge overturned the juror's decision. And the judge did not talk about only jury tampering. And I said it on this program, that jury misconduct is different from jury tampering. You can disband a jury, or you can investigate a jury for juror misconduct. And the juror misconduct can lead to the overturn of any verdict that the juror brought if it is proved that the jurors misconducted themselves. It's different from jury tampering. So the main thing, and then the judge gave a written ruling. How can you address that issue? You have not read the judge's ruling, and the reporter who was asking you did not read the judge's ruling because he said, we didn't even know what the issue, what the judge said. How can you say you don't know what the judge said? The judge said the jurors misconducted themselves by violating all the rules of jury sequestration, that they carry phones. It was proved that they were using their phones almost every day, sending text messages and phone calls, that they lied under oath. All those things were jury misconduct. And then he said the numbers from outside that were calling those phones must be investigated if they tampered with the jury, so that jury tampering will also add to the jury misconduct. Then how can our senator say, as far as is concerned, Samuel Twe is a free man? And people are, you are government officials. Yes, you may not agree with, you may be probably with the people who don't agree on the jurors being called back and investigated. Maybe you don't agree. That's fine. Say that you don't agree. And that is your opinion. That is fine. But legally, we see that it is right. We have shown legal precedent that it can happen. The judge has done it. But for the senior government official to sit there and say, we don't know what is going on, and as far as we're concerned, Samuel Twe is still a free man. For me, I say that undermines the system we are trying to build. It makes people to lose confidence in the system that we are trying to build. And if you say on the same program that if you are close to Joseph Boakai like me, because you say you are close to Joseph Boakai, and those system happens, then you undermine the same system that we are trying to build. Not everybody agree with the judge's decision. Even the next day or 2 days after it happened in Bomi County. In fact, that one when the jurors team were not guilty, the man who allegedly raped, they set him free. He was gone. Yep. When the judge investigated and overturned it, he ordered the rearrest of that man. He's now in prison. Because they realized that the jurors were in constant communication with guys outside who told them to say the guy was not guilty. And it was proven in the judge's ruling. It is written. So if you don't agree that, probably my senior lawyers who say it can never happen, they don't agree with that, that's fine. That is your opinion. You know, but I don't think it was right for the senator to say that, you know, the as far as he's concerned, Twitter is a free man and this and that. For me, those are the things I want to address. But if you come back from your vacation, you want to change the law so that every time the law says, every time somebody goes on a remedial action, the judge must issue a rate and hearing and do a ruling, I can tell you that it is not even going to be practical. I don't even think the Supreme Court is going to allow it, because the same justice, that case will never end. It will never end. And Dwalu, for those of us who have been in court practicing before and have sat in court and seen court practices, look, lawyers got all kind of antics, all kind of antics. And you know, if we lawyers were fair to the people we serve as our clients and not start to grandstand, people will understand. Because there's not a time that I know of that a justice in chamber will call a conference and the lawyers will not know why the justice will not issue the rate. Because they were discussing the conference. The justice will ask you first, you file the thing, why you think I'm going to issue the rate? When you explain to him, he asked the other person, but the judge already finished reading your things. He asked the other person, why you think I should not issue the rate? When you explain, the justice look at and say, but counselor, you know this is the law. You know the person, they rate, I will not issue it. So you'll go back down there because I can't issue the rate based on this thing. All the lawyers know that. It's just that when they come, so listen to what 12 lawyer said. He went there on jurisdiction, but then the judge say, no, you just go there and sign stipulation that all will be party. Then you agree, you sign it. You sign it. You think the judge was stupid to say that? You think he didn't understand why the judge say so? You think any lawyer worth his salt representing his client's interest will compromise his client's interest when he know even the Supreme Court justice was not correct? He knew that. But then when they finish, he agreed, he go through the whole investigation, they get the job finished now. Then he come back and say, no, but I agree because the judge didn't handle that other issue. He only say we must go there and sign stipulation. You know, it doesn't happen. We should be truthful to the people because that's how people build confidence in your system. Our justice system is not perfect, but if we go and lawyers will be dishonest with the public and say these things, and then politicians will pick it up, and based on that, you want to change the whole system, you may end up damaging the whole system. But I can assure my brother and the senator, our principal for this reloaded school, that if you try that one there, in fact, I don't think the Supreme Court will accept it because they ain't got that headache. No court in the world will accept to do that. That every small thing you do, you go upstairs, they must sit down and write a ruling, then they must appeal that ruling to Supreme Court, then Supreme Court must rule on it, then they come back downstairs, then another one go, that one case will go on and on and on and on. In fact, the Supreme Court can find lawyers, you know that? That when you carry that kind of foolishness to the court, they can find you. Sometimes they can
suspend. But they don't find nobody comes to the mind. We know.
Sometimes the Supreme Court warn people to tell you they don't bring the foolish case here. This thing you're doing are delay tactics. Because some lawyers will just do that to delay the case. And if the judge will have to issue written ruling on everything, then go to the Supreme Court, then no matter will end. So what's about other people got the cases in the court? It's not only politicians that are big people in the country. Everybody needs justice. Our courts are overcrowded. They are suffering. I thought we were going to talk about getting appellate courts so they can take some of the pressure from on the Supreme Court. But we're adding on more pressure to say that every ruling, they must send it up to them so they can decide. Then we're not finished justice in the country, Dwalu. I just thought I wanted to address that today because I thought it was important, you know, to set that record straight.
Well, thank you so much, Councilor Man. To the audience, man, all you guys, thank you. Brother Blair, welcome to the show. What's on your mind? What's going on with you, brother? Guys, Moose, he's on his way. He will be here momentarily. And the other guys will be here.
I just feel bound listening to I think he's the next one who's going to begin to call the land counselor. He's here, they're picking here.
I mean, no, but every lawyer is learning. I mean,
yeah. But the thing is, you simplify the law to people. You are not speaking those big legal jargons and things. You are resonating with your audience.
Yeah, I'm going to LU. Okay. I'm going to LU. I get big English.
With your audience. So, I mean, I have nothing much to say because those who think they understand the law just from reasoning is different from people who understand the law based on legal knowledge, based on the legal knowledge. I'm sorry for that. Somebody disturbing my line. Based on the legal knowledge and understanding of the law. That's the big difference that many people should get to understand. It's not where somebody just think they understand the law because they've had associations before. But the technocrat, those who went to school and studied the law, the technical aspect of the law, understanding the law and interpreting the law, is completely different from people who feel maybe they work in one or two places and maybe they serve with one or two lawyers and maybe the roads feel breathing and thing down, and then they understand the law. Me and the people that Councilor Arthur Johnson, I can't argue with him because I know will destroy me. So when they listen to the legal practitioners, they argue among themselves. That is why you see the understanding of the law is completely different from one lawyer to another lawyer. But it depends on who provide the best reason to convince people or the court. So, like somebody said, the government can make appeal. But in this case with Samuel Toy, the government didn't make appeal. It's the same people who came and adjudged the man not guilty through anything and say there was some misconduct amongst us. And the court went through it. So where are people coming from to say the government appeal? The government did not appeal. If the government appeal is different from the jurors themselves coming to complain themselves and say there was some misconduct. So I mean, the Landed Councilor have simplified it. And for me, I on the side of the councilor. Anybody can take my hip on something like Chami, but I say, cut it. Got me here, and I'm on the lawyer like, bro.
You won't get in trouble with it, Okay, and let's start the show tonight. We know there's a lot of talk in the country, Councilor Man, regarding our former president. To paraphrase what she said before I play this brief video, she said the country needs investors, but not a country with drugs. It seems like people always have the solution to every problem in Liberia when they're not in position to find solutions to those very problems. And when they're given an opportunity to find those solutions, they tend to fail at finding the solution. I want to listen to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf briefly, and then have a discussion about what she said.
If you want more banks to open, if you want investment to come, they have to have confidence in our government. A government that they must respect. A government that they can rely on. A government that has the reputation to attract. Otherwise, they will attract bad businesses like these drug people who come here. So we have to build that confidence. Government has to have that confidence to tell the people, come to Liberia, bring us your money, do your investment, do your business, make sure you get what your return, because they will not bring their money, their business for nothing. They will bring big money, but make sure that the country also has its fair share. And we as people must have confidence in our government and can rely on them, on the government, to do the right thing.
I want to say this, Councilor Mai. This should go without saying, but Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is insinuating that Liberia, it is not prepared. It's not a place for people to take the money because there is drugs in the country. This is an insinuation. I could be wrong. Somebody can preach me wrong or point it out if I'm not saying the right thing. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is saying, if you want people to bring your money here, we cannot have an appearance of drugs in the country. Obviously, nobody wants to be drugs, but the government has done everything to fight this drug issue. And the numbers bear this out. We reduced the amount of Zogos in our country. There are no ghettos anywhere. The president has put more money into the DEA. They are arresting millions of dollars worth of drugs. They're fighting this issue. Now, by the way, this is not unique to Liberia. This is happening globally, this drug issue. Even here in these United States, you go to Australia, even though a little bit more difficult out there, but most of Europe, the same thing is happening. Why would Ellen Johnson Sirleaf lead her audience to believe that Liberia is not in a position to receive investors, given what she perceived as we got drugs coming to the country?
So Dwalu, let me just because I saw this from on the message trail from one Samuel Gokai Hollywood, and he said, why this platform will always deviate from the real issues that are affecting our people and country in so many ways daily. never discuss the drug issue that is killing our people and destroying the reputation of our country and her future. You are not real patriots as you all think. This is sad. In history, will be the judge in the future. Everything is recorded on digital that can be found anytime in the future. Thank you, Samuel, for your message. Maybe it is today that you've tuned into this program, but I don't know how many times we haven't spoken about this drug issue. But Dwalu, you know, I appreciate I get new breed of thought since our independence oration. You know, former President Sirleaf is part of our heritage. We will claim her.
What bad bush for you?
We will claim her. What we would do? We'll claim her. That part of our heritage. We'll claim her. You know, it is not what you say. It is the insinuation behind all that you say. And probably Madam President carries still some beef, you know, still with President Boakai now. Or maybe Madam President believe that, you know, there are some people who believe that nobody should set any other record than them. And if you want to overpass them, then their record that they set or what they did will be overshadowed, and you will be the new person who will be praising. You know, a typical Liberian attitude. So when you come here, nobody must do better, you know. But first and foremost, no investors around the world want to put their money where there is no system, there is no, in fact, the country is a pariah state. Nobody. And I believe that is why Madam President herself, when she decided to run for elections, in fact, during the Accra Peace Accord, when the delegates thought that they wanted to make her the interim president instead of Judy Bryant. But there was a caveat that if you become interim president, you can run for president in the election in 2025. That she declined because she knew she wanted to run for president. And I believe that it is with that conviction that she thought, seeing Liberia where it was, that she thought she could reset Liberia on a track of progress and development going forward. And she did what she could. Not everybody were satisfied with how she governed the country. Not everybody was satisfied with how her children manipulated governance, the government, and everybody else. Not everybody was satisfied about that. Not everybody was satisfied with what she covered up for children, allegedly, or, you know, the kind of influences people had because they were related to, closer affiliated to her kids. Not everybody, all right? But she did what she could. And that is part of our inheritance that we must clean. And you see, again, the orator said we cannot judge ourselves based on our bitter past. For Madam President and anybody else to insinuate that drugs, narcotic drugs, illicit substances, drugs, started to come in Liberia from February 2024, it is a disservice to the nation. It is a disservice to the country. For anybody, including Madam President, to think or insinuate or try to make Liberians believe that it was just 2 years ago that drugs started to come into our country and overrun our country. It is a disservice to Liberia. It's not only with drugs, it's also with corruption. It's also with corruption. No investor wants to bring their money into a country that is rampantly corrupt. Madam President came in 2005, said corruption will be public enemy number one. In 2012, Madam Presidency, corruption now have become, how you call it, vampire.
A vampire. Yeah.
It changed from public enemy number one to vampire. So she gave up on corruption because it became vampire. She did not hear Joseph Boakai go and criticize her or talk that one. See, that was her own administration. There was, at least when we started to know of drugs, there were $50 million. First of all, $30 million. I mean, at the quantity, $30 million drugs were busted in this country. It was not under President Boakai. President Seli was ex-president. Did she talk about investors' confidence in the country? Then a $50 million was busted, drugged, cocaine. She was former president. President Weah was president. Was it not in Liberia? Did she speak about investors will lose confidence in those cases? Not, if nobody was arrested for those cases, those two cases I'm talking about, not a single person was arrested. They were just busted. Then $100 million worth of cocaine was brought through the National Port Authority by one frozen food company, shipped into Liberia. 4 people were arrested. They went to court and they were found not guilty, acquitted. Did she speak about the investment climate in Liberia? No, it's not only about drugs. But even the management of the economy, and people don't have confidence. Why the Chinese stop doing business with our government? Why most of the countries started to write and accuse our government of taking their resources? Why did our national reserve deplete? Those are things why investors look for. But you see, Dwalu, when the bat is there, so the drug menace, it was not in 2024 and 2025 and 2026 under Joseph Boakai that we started having zombies walking the streets.
Nope.
That Kush was proliferated on our streets. Until Kush couldn't help people again, they started doing spark and die on our streets. Was it during Boakai time? Where was Madam President? Oh, that didn't matter? And indeed, when people say our mothers, our sisters, our parents, our people went out the street, including Sister Mary Lauren, because it was so much and unacceptable. What time was that? Was that Joseph Boakai time? But you see, when Joseph Boakai has seen the menace and has decided that I'm not going to continue on the same track, I'm going to make this a national emergency. I'm going to destroy all the ghettos in Liberia so that our children don't get into ghettos. I will destroy wherever it is, even if it is the forest, I will destroy the ghettos. Is he destroying the ghettos? He has destroyed majority of them. Do you go openly and see ghettos in our country anymore?
No.
Is that a government that wants the name to be bad for fighting drugs? When he decides that all these people who are bringing marijuana, kush, spark and die, all these kinds of illicit things, the pills that they can take and all these things, when we catch you, we parade you, we'll take you to court and we'll put you in jail. You bring the drug, when we catch you on you, we'll arrest you. When he started arresting all these people coming from Sierra Leone, coming through our airport, the young woman who Edwin Snow talked about said, yeah, she was arrested. When he started arresting all the old men who will be selling the marijuana in droves. Is that a government that is not serious to fight the drug menace?
Thank you.
The government that decides that we have busted a $19 million catch at the airport, but we're not going to stop there. The person who owns that company at the airport, the person whose home it was in, we're going to confiscate that house. We're going to prosecute him. He's in the central prison right now with all the other people who are named, who have run away, but they are fugitives of the law. Is that a government that does not want people to see the fight of drugs? Then the investigation leads to the seizure of more drugs heading in Dwazon, arresting foreigners and other people who try to influence law enforcers, and everybody associated has been rounded up and investigated. Is that a government that you should be ashamed of? or there's a government that you should clap for and be proud of, that this thing has been in our country for years? Madam Selita and Jones were not in the country.
Who's there?
What did she do about it? Did you hear how DEA go and raid ghettos? Did you hear how bust anything? After she left, President Weah came. Did you hear DEA go and raid ghettos? That one, I tell the people, really taking the drug now, walking, sleeping in the graveyard, and doing all those things. What did they do about it? Now that somebody is doing something about it, that the person you want to vilify, that's why I ask myself, so they think the person is doing, is it hurting people? Were you the people who are bringing this? Are you profiting from it? Because the reason it gives me is that people are angry because probably you are killing their business. Maybe Joseph Boakai is stepping on their toes. He's killing their business. He's closing all their loopholes. That is why they are angry. Maybe. So where was Madam President all those years? I thought as a former leader, you would encourage the law enforcement people. You would tell them not to leave any stone unturned. Like the president said, no matter who it catches, whether you are a president's son, president's daughter, president this, in a place, once you are arrested and you are affiliated, you feel the full weight of the law. I thought that's what she was going to say, so that investors can really have confidence in our country. Because, you can't put any other spin to it. She's trying to vilify the government. Like all the other people who say the government now has a bad image for fighting drugs. So the government that was keeping it undercover, they have good image. But when you climb down on it and start arresting people left, right, center, and start breaking down all the ghettos, and this time you can walk the street and see our people walking like zombies, then they say that bad image. So the good image was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when our young brothers and sisters were all in the streets, sleeping in the graveyard, bossing and taking boom, human being boom, and matching it to smoke. That was a good image, right? Is that what Liberian was?
Thank you, Councilor Man. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
I don't understand.
That will come over to you. The thing is, we're having a discussion. For me, entirely, it's not just placing any kind of blame on the former president. But I want to say this. If you're being disingenuous in your argument against the government, this is where the anger comes in. Madam President, here in America to fight drugs, does that mean the government does not care about investors coming to the country? One thing the president has continued to advocate for is to make sure investors come to the country. Blair, how can any responsible investor see an administration that is actively fighting drugs, trying to get drugs out of the country? There are real evidence to show what this administration has done since it came to power less than 3 years ago. The ghettos across Monrovia, if you went into Zwedru, the last time I was listening, they are closed down. The drug enforcement out of Buchanan, if you went into parts of Ganta, they are being pursued. They are building rehabs across the country. They are blocking every channel. Today, the government actually charged the 12 men and women that were involved in the drug trade across our country. So the government is working diligently to address this drug issue directly, something it is not complaining about and say, oh, we inherited this fight. It is tackling this fight directly. How can the former president insinuate that nothing is being done, that Liberia is a drug den that will shy away investors? How can she say that?
Thank you, Dwalu. I will try my best, very best, to address this in a way that I do not disrespect the former president, and most especially she's a female. Like you said, it's not entirely of putting the blame on her, but the assertion why drugs is an obstacle to investment, but equally so, we should look at the United States, where drug is infested with drugs. It is a capitalist country where you have a lot of corporate institutions. There are more corporate institutions, and makes the infestation of drugs in the United States, businesses still want to pull into the United States.
Sorry.
But let me look at the premise of the former president. I don't know if we could find that tape where she said, I will support him, but he will get it the way I got it.
I will finally be talking.
That alone, like Councilor Ma gave 2 instances, whether maybe there's an old town grudge, is where I look at that statement from. Or in our setting, we do want for somebody to surpass our record, if there's a record. So, Councilor Man, if you listen to one of the orators yesterday, okay, when they were breaking the grounds for the next from Salaye to Cornell, because the first stage was from Banga to Salaye. So the next one now was from Salaye to Cornell. The history of that road. All people say, if people say Joseph Yuma Bucking and keep brushing their hair, if you listen to the history of that road, then you say the Omar really wanted to cripple or hurt this Oman. Because, Councilor Man, there's a man who kept the original sketch of that road from since 1989. Even in the war, during the war, the man made sure that the sketch of that road, if anything could get missing, that man made plenty of documents for the sketch of that road. It left with him until after the war. Because that was one of the most important instruments for him, for the people of Lofa County. Fortunately, he becomes your vice president. And all of the advice that he gives you, all of the counsel, when you seek counsel from him, he walks into your office one day with this piece of paper and gives to you, expressing how he feels about it. You put it into your drawer, Councilor Man. That's the Banga Man, the Koma Highway. Since 1989, according to the history of that road, because all we've heard, the breaking ground of that road just began from 2017, but we didn't know that it dated as far back as 1989, that the Taiwanese were the first group of people who wanted to construct that highway. Now, Councilor Man, it comes to the point where you serve 2 terms and your vice president is running to take after you. How dear that piece of paper that man gave you, that many things lost from him during the war. But he kept that piece of instrument throughout the war, that even if something was going to happen to him, it was going to go with him to his grave. You breaking that rule, the man's project, and you call another person. Councilor Man, you understand what I'm talking about? You take his project that is dear to him, and you call a George Weah and Madam Taylor to break grounds. Councilor Man, you are subhuman. You think that can wear away from your heart so easily? So the point from which you spoke from, maybe there's a grudge somewhere, and I listened to the history of that road yesterday, how important they said to the president, and he took it to you, and you willingly took his project and gave it to somebody else, something that you did not know about. It speaks volume. So with the former president's remark that the other time she was at Benetez station, this president is completing your project, your legacy projects in the country. Even completing the ones that George Weah neglected. But yet still you want to verify this man who doesn't know that this project did not begin with you, and Joseph Yuma Bwaka then served under you as vice president. Nobody is disputing. Nobody is taking over projects. But you still go to studio to tell people those are my projects, the records are there. You and who are computing over records? For me, I see what she's doing in the statement today. There is, and I will conclude, because those 2 points made by Councilor Ma, the both of them are interplaying. The both of them are interplaying. Okay.
Thank you, Blair. I played the tip. This is the best one I could find very quickly.
Yeah.
When the old man said I would support him, but you get it the way I get it.
Program to become president, I'll give him the fullest support, but he will get it the same way I got it.
No, you don't have to get it the same way you get it, but I just support.
And the problem here is, I want you to look at her posture. I was also listening to Mama Diakete, God rest his soul, and when he had an interview with her, and the way she was talking about, oh, I was supporting, I would do this, I would do that, but she was kind of removed from it. So now, for me now, I'm starting to think about this play. I'm going to stick with you for a second. It's like Ellen was biting and blowing at the same time when it comes to President Boakai.
Indeed.
Because even on another one, she was explaining how most of the things that he's completing today was begun under her administration. I hate to say President Boakai was not part of that administration. The thing is, if you want to continue with it, and I think Councilor Ma is on to something here when he did state that people have this perception that I don't want you to outshine me, even if that's going to hurt the country. I'm still going to stifle your progress because I want you to be second to me. And we don't want our succeeding president or our succeeding president to be second to the previous president. We want it to be far greater than the previous president, not because we hate the previous president, but because we love Liberia more. Play.
That's where my last conversation was going. Having served with this man as a vice president, and he's giving you counsel, maybe some of the counsel, like when the president then was running for the presidency, they asked him a question in one of these interviews. He said, my role was to give advice, to give counsel where needed by the president. And it was the will of the president to accept my counsel. So you deal with this man, you know his mind, you know that he has wisdom, you know that he has the edge to do so many, that he wants to do so many things. And when you think about it, you say, this guy will outshine me. So when I look at it from the Grush area, when Vice President then said that every corrupt individual will be investigated and will be persecuted. And when he said that recommendations of the TRC will be implemented, Erin took it completely different. I think these are the places where she begin to really hold grudge against the present president. And then she knows that Joseph Yuma Boakai is an enterprising man, a man with wisdom, edge to want to develop. He saw things, I'm sure sometimes in a closed session, just the two of them, I'm sure she saw him see things differently. So she knew if this man become president, the possibility of this man outshining her record, it would have been her. So up to today,
hold on. Why should that, especially if you have the interest of the country at heart, why should you worry about somebody outshining you if that improves Liberia? Especially your former VP that worked along with you. I don't get it.
Dalu, that is the thing. People look at themselves first than the people that they govern. Most people, especially within the African setting. Because you stood out as the first female president in Africa. And so you want for your record in post-war Liberia to outshine any other person that comes after you. And that is why you see it was deliberate that you know that you cannot compare or George Weah with Joseph Yuma Boakai, but you chose to bring a George Weah because you knew obviously that George Weah would have been a failure, which would not have outmatched your record. Now, fast forward in 2023, you have a president under 3 years that have taken your leftover projects and failed projects from George Weah, completed them.
Listen.
Yeah.
Let's be frank.
Yeah.
There are nobody project.
Yeah.
I started to.
I understand.
No.
I'm just taking it at that point.
No. Don't be giving people vainglory. That vainglory enough for them. Look. Anybody can set me right, especially people who are older than we are. I started to hear about Ganta Harper Highway in the 80s.
Thank you.
President Saliba nowhere near presidency. Nowhere near presidency. I started to hear about Ganta Harper Highway in the 80s. And I understood those were plans from William Richard Talbot Jr. All right? Look, and what is a project that is not completed? What makes it a project? All right? That was Liberia's development plan. I started to hear about Ganta Harper. In fact, There was sometimes I had some friends of Ministry of Finance who said that in fact there's something what to do about. That's why people, Senator Dillon, were calling for them to audit the debt, the domestic debt, and all that, because some people started claiming debt for that Ganta Harper Highway. Say they work on that road there. Long time in the 80s, 90s, they say, 70s, 80s, they say they work on that road there. People, government still owe them. They must pay them. They say people still claiming debt. So the road from Ganta to pave the road from Ganta to Harper, it didn't start on President Sirleaf. People should stop that. It is not their project. But what is a project if it's not completed? You start to build a house. Your children or somebody else come and build it. What you see, this thing Blair is talking about. Blair, sorry to have cut you out, because
no, it's good. It's good.
Our project. That's not your project.
Yeah. It's the people's money.
As you said, the blueprint, the design for the road from Banga to Medicoman all the way to Vonjaman, it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it is not your project. It is not your project. All right? And that is what, look, the greatest mark of a leader. It is not your legacy. It is not about projects. It is about how you are able to develop people who can do better than you.
That's it. Inspire people.
You bring people up who can do better than you. Then you sit down, you are proud, you say, yes, that's my student. Yes, that's my person. That's why people groom people to be better than them.
Yes.
All right?
Yep.
That is the greatest mark of a leader. But you see people who like vainglory, people who are narcissists, only love themselves, and people who got complex, that's inferiority complex, because you believe that nobody should be better than you. So you don't want to train anybody. You don't want to develop anybody. You don't want to make everybody grow. You don't want to make anybody better. Every good leader around the world, you can look at it, and when the president going, you see the vice president or somebody, you say no. Sometimes not even the vice president. Sometimes you can see another cabinet meeting, somebody else say, look, the president grooming this other person to take over from them. I can see it. You understand? That is the mark of a leader.
Yeah.
You leader, you're supposed to have people better than you. Your children are supposed to be better than you are today.
Thank you.
But you know, all these things, we're holding on to these things. Look, and let me just come back to the drug thing. Mexico. Today in Mexico, there's some part of Mexico, the government, people can go there. Like they got their own army, they got everything in Mexico. What happened in Mexico? They call it narco state. And I believe carry the World Cup.
Of course.
And investors went there.
Yeah.
And people went there and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And people can still go there for tourism.
Every day.
All right?
I don't go there myself.
There'll be bad people everywhere. There will be bad situations. Why is it that us Liberians, we always look for the negative thing to bring our country down? Investors come to your country when there is electricity, because power is cheap. They can bring their factories, they can bring the industries, and they can work. Investors come to your country when the roads are open and they are paved, and they can go anywhere and set up their factories. The cows they carry to Grand Cru is not only them, when they start multiplying, you can carry an abattoir there or a processing plant to start making corned beef, to start making. Somebody will go there because current will be there, road will be there. That's what brings investors to your country. Not about drugs, or else or else they see in the United States of America, investors will not be here because the drugs plenty. Even though they're fighting it every day by here. Mexico, people will not carry investment to Mexico.
Europe.
People will not carry investment to Europe. Why is it for us Liberians, we always look for the negative things to bring our own country down?
Amen.
And our leaders, past leaders, present leaders, so-called politicians, so-called political party leaders, the only thing they think about, that the only thing that make you glorify, the only thing will make you say you can do better, to just bring the bad. And that is why the orator said, people may think that he didn't say substantive thing, but that is the sense in it, because you don't even know who you are. You don't even know your identity. You're not even proud of what we have. So everything about us is bad. Even when Liberians on their own celebrate the world over, red, white, and blue was everywhere in the world. Everybody knew that weekend, they knew a country. If you didn't hear it before, you knew that a country called Liberia. Still, some people say that we're bad thing. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? And sorry for some of us, I can't sit down and say we'll just lead it in and people will just say and let them just talk. No.
No.
All right. Madam President is not doing well for our country. She might not lose the blessing. She might not lose the respect that we have for her. All right. If you cannot help the country, then shut up. Then leave it. Then leave it. So the investment climate that can bring the roads, that can bring investors, isn't it being built? the electricity that comes, if they bring factories now to Grand Bassa County, won't it benefit the people in Grand Bassa County because electricity is there?
Of course.
She's talking about all that one. The only thing she's talking about is to come and sit down and say they drop people who can come here. Who brought them here? That should have brought government business drop people came. You understand? So all this thing about the project, that project is not. And I'm begging anybody who says I'm lying, because I said in the 80s, there's no part of Nimatubu not passing around, especially during the war. I started hearing Ganta Harper Highway project long time. In fact, I don't know how true it is. I understand even that stadium that was built in Peace, that I call SKD Sports Complex, was even planned and designed by Talbot. Yes, it was Doe that built that stadium, but all those plans were there. So what is wrong with us? Why is it that we don't see any positive thing about our country? They're catching the drug people, destroying the ghettos, arresting everybody, whether you're selling it locally or you want to export it, they're arresting them. Then we vex. I don't understand why we vex. Why we vex?
And Councilor Ma, I want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead, Adwalu.
You're right. And Liberian people, if you're listening to the radio,
she wanted to come off air.
Well, Cole, yeah, she can come off air if she wants to.
She said she wanted to come off air. I mean, not to view a picture, but she just want to be in the back. So check the back if she's there.
Yeah, she's not there yet. So she comes out, bring it on. We want to say this. We agree that drugs must be fought in Liberia. Nobody's in opposition to that. But to tie in our progress with some drugs that come to the country is where it's called a Freudian flaw or whatever you want to call it. I want to listen to Ellie Johnson Sully briefly when she was talking about how she initiated this project and that project. And I love the way Councilor Mount put it. The issue of our country, the government has a national plan. A Councilor Ma is president of the Republic of Liberia for a 6-year tenure. He functioned within that 6-year tenure. If he's done and Dwalu takes over, I continue the process of the government. This is not Councilor Ma's project or Dwalu's project or my brother Blair's project. It is the people's project. I wanted to listen to Ellen a little bit before we go forward. When she was speaking on some of these initiations.
The LEC is doing a very good job. I've looked at the young people who are doing the environmental protection things. What some of those really, with limited capacity and resources are working.
The quality of the audio is very poor. I'm going to try to get a better one, but Blair, I'm going to come back to you though. This issue here, the country got to go in front. We understand that this drug issue is a serious issue, but this is not an administration. This administration is aggressively fighting this drug. There's no administration that has fought the drug better than what President Bugger and his team has done. We know what happened to the DEA before. We know the amount of resources being pumped towards the DEA. Today, we know what happened in the country. 12 people were actually charged in the country on this drug issue in the country. Exactly what the government is supposed to be doing, fighting drug, unless, of course, y'all want us to do what happened in the Philippines. The name of those very people that were associated with the drug were published today. And some of the charges include drug trafficking, conspiracy, illegal possession, firearm related. They tracked their businesses. They came to the Robert International Airport. They went into Bomi County, set up a business, a fishing business over there to funnel drugs into the country. The government is releasing all of this to the country and still building the infrastructure to invite investors into the country. Countering drugs, it doesn't entirely mean that investors not going to come to your country. The Councilor Man said investors look for a few things. If they can turn the money over, make some profit, if they have the necessary infrastructure, if they get power, they will come to your country because they still go into not just Mexico or Nicaragua, El Salvador, or they don't go into Europe. Europe busting billions of dollars of drug every single year. Look to the video, it's happening. Why would anybody believe that because some drugs were found in Liberia, that means investors not going to come to the country? Why would we be thinking in that fashion, Blair? On mute.
In the first place, Dwalu, investor will begin to think about like investment being safe. And considering what is happening presently in the country, what investor need is the government that has the will to fight these kind of a menace. they know that when they come to invest, that investment is safe. So Liberia is not a risk in terms of investment. The only thing is the economy opening so that when these investors come, they can have a return on their investment. But there's the thing. With all of these 12 people or 12 persons being arraigned before the court and charged today, there are some people who still think that the people they want incarcerated, those people are not among the 12 people, so the government is not serious. So when we who are outside of government are looking at people from the past administration who were seen to have been allegedly corrupt, when we are talking about a persecution and for them to go to jail or be able to give the Liberian people's money back, it is a witch hunt. But some of them say, why is it this guy at the airport authority, the LAA, name is not among those who were charged in the raid before the court? Because in their mind, they have their own kind of people within the circle of government that should be convicted. Okay? So it is a sad thing that even some of these media institutions, they go running with posts. I'll just backtrack a little bit. I had a little bit of respect for this DN News, but now I begin to take them as Chechepole social media stuff, because it's not everything that you see you just copy and paste, or every video you see you copy and paste. It's about the viewership, or is it the integrity of the information that you are putting out there? For you people, you are recognized media institution in the country. For us, we blocking the image of the government. So sometimes we're not, even as much as that, some of us are still careful with the kind of a commentary and the videos that we put out there. We do not just see what people post and we run. Look at what they posted this evening. Or Jefferson Koji comes out with some video. He says former officials of government and present officials of government are in a casino midnight, and he mentioned Bernice Abaka suffering in spoon in many. So you want to tell me in these people casino is not illegal? So if these people were to if we should even accept that they were in a casino at night, midnight, in their private time, do they not have right to go to any place they want to go? And then you see these people copy and paste these things and say, because the men say Liberians should demand them for answers. Then you see them as media institution cutting that video to put it on. According to Secretary General, Liberia might ask these people for. That's the kind of a society we are in today. And that is why it's good we have people that Councilor Mark, call the information minister, and other people who are enlightened, people with experience, to join us on this platform to continue to keep the consciousness of the Liberian people awakened. Because these are look at what the other one did. You take the president and his wife video in Grand Bassa County. Soupists go onto the street to do a protest, and you have few mothers that have been planted who are chanting drugs government, drugs dealer. And then you take the president's video in Grand Bassa County, you do a voiceover from what happened in Monrovia, as though as the people in Grand Bassa County are the ones who are chanting these things behind the president. Dwalu, we have a lot to do, because these people are paying these pseudo media institutions to tarnish the image of this government. But it's good that you people and we are here fighting these things every day. Like Councilor Man said, the government must not take lightly Rock this year, Water Spoon, Amarakone and Snow. Because what these people are doing, 2 senators amongst 15 senators choose to become a part of talk show. They are panelists now. They do not have any work to do. Like in the United States, 2 congressmen or 2 senators just go and be part of talk show every day. What is the motive? And then Amarakone, you have a seat at the king's table. You sit and write a long write-up, an open letter to the president. I want to help as a PhD holder in argument. You want to lose your you choose to lose your birthright at the table. So we have a lot to do. But what I would say here in any is that I think any investor will want to invest in Liberia because they see the will of the government to fight drugs.
And I want to say that, Bled, and people that are always, look, this president has to do great because this movement demands of it. But anybody who really try to stifle the economic growth of the typical Liberian in Liberia by preaching a message that investors should not come or will not come to the country, that person do not really care too much about Liberia. The images of our country should be presented, especially if he held the highest position in our country before as president. You should be pushing to present Liberia in a positive light. This is not a competition against your own people. Now, I will say this, and Councilor Mann will close us on this topic. I'm going to say this: everybody on this platform, and literally everybody who's listening, they want drug to be fought in Liberia. In fact, they want the president to increase the pace at which they're fighting drugs. And they are doing everything they can. We remember $1 million was busted at the border. It brought into the central bank. We all saw that video. We remember the most of the ghettos across the country being broken down. They're building 3 separate rehabs by the government in the country to rehabilitate some of these young people. They are stopping drugs at the border points. These things require divers. They require helicopters. We need civilians. We need satellite footage and imagery to fight this thing all around. We don't have all the tools. But with all that limitation, the government is still doing everything they can to bust over $300 million worth of drugs with hard intelligence. Big shout out to the NSA and the crew and everybody else in Liberia. So my thing is, we can have our political disagreement. We can say Councilor Mann is not going to outshine Dwalu, so I have to do everything I can to stifle Councilor Mann's shine. When you are doing that, you're hurting Nima County. You cannot do that. We have to promote the image of Liberia. Drug is everywhere, not in Liberia. Drug is everywhere across the globe. I want you to drive downtown Philadelphia here in America. Go to Amsterdam and go see what drugs look like. Go to London. Go to Belgium. This thing is everywhere. They are fighting this thing everywhere. But the image we are putting out there, it is not right. And I think President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, given her stature in our society, can push to elevate Liberia and not present Liberia negatively. This is my position. Councilor Mann, close up on this topic. We'll go to the next topic, sir.
So let me close up on this topic again. They'll be spying in the text messages because
yes,
that's somebody see. So Grace Falconia says that this government must succeed and no fake propaganda will rise against our country. But I like this one from Rose Kayono. Is it Kayono Hellberg? Rose. So Rose says that if the drug crisis is now discouraging investment in Liberia, then it is a challenge we should all take seriously.
Yeah.
But it also raises an important question. If this problem has been growing for years, shouldn't every administration be held to the same standard? The conversation should not be about who is speaking, but about what was done and what still needs to be done. Consistent accountability is the only way we can build lasting solution for Liberia. And then LC says drug fight is unending anywhere in the world. As long we continue to see firm actions and measures from the government towards the fight against drugs, we'll support the government. Many countries in West Africa have huge drug issue than Liberia. It's obvious LIB politicians are gaslighting this situation in support for the 2029 election, but Liberians are not naive. So,
and before you go, Councilor Mann, Brother Nimle, that's not what I say here. I was pointing out this issue is facing every country. This was the point I was trying to make. It doesn't mean we want drugs in Liberia. Obviously, we want it to be fought. Stop being parochial. Go ahead,
So Nettie Forsberg says, "My goodness, imagine if Class Reloaded was not on here." And then Howard Golokai says the government need to put a strong security in IT in place. The digital war is no joke. Okay, so we're continuing with this, but let me just say something. Which one of our people have come to sit and say, no investor? We investor and say, I'm coming to Liberia because drugs there.
Not one.
Which investor? That's why I said if the investor, if the only drug was the determining factor for investment, then America will not get investor. Cuba will not get investor. In fact, what do you need? Mexico, the same Colombia you're talking about, they will not get investors in the country. No, it doesn't even justify. In fact, Patrick Okase, I suggest that drug traffickers be executed. Hey, Patrick, Malaysia is Patrick, I beg you, the boss. But Dwalu, as we've said, look, in as much as we commend, and I think that more needs to be done, and let me thank the law enforcers for doing what they have done. Look, but I don't think it is proper for us to sit there. And if there's somebody on the street talking, somebody who say all this, but if the politicians believe, and apparently they believe that they will hang this drug thing around the neck of the Unity Party and President Boakai, and then in 2029, Liberian people will decide that, our drug state so this and this and this. Look, I think it is a disappointment for leaders who did nothing that anybody saw to fight drugs. Leaders who during the time the proliferation was obvious. Not only that people were transshipping drugs, but Liberians were consuming drugs. So for that reason, it made the crime rate higher. Look, those days, 8 o'clock in the evening, you couldn't walk on the Dupo Road Junction. They're picking up with hijack you, had a knife or something, and rob you.
That's right.
The children were so high on drug and looking for anything to survive. The Brovian became all kind of, because those drug people are living all in the cemetery and everywhere. It was during the latter days of President Sirleaf. It was during the time of President George Weah. We did not see security crack down. We did not see all the intensive fights. Today, 2-3 a.m., people can walk and go home to wherever they come from. People can go out. It means that because now there is no, it is not, let me put in a word, it is not, there's no addiction for you to be moving towards stealing now to support your addicted habits.
That's right.
And now if people have to do drugs in Liberia, they have to hide it.
Hide it.
So that is what Liberia has done. They have to hide it. You understand? So, and that's what makes the country stronger. It's not open. So you can't openly go do it. They will arrest you. They will prosecute you. All right? So for me, I think that we need to sit down and look at the positive things that are happening in our country. Look, Liberia is getting better.
It's getting better.
It's not where we wanted to be. And I don't think even in 2029, if President Boakai decides to run again and he's elected, the fight against crime will not be eliminated from any society.
Nope.
After that election, when he run another 6 years and he finished, he can't run again, and Jeremiah Kpankun decides to run as president, he's elected, the fight against crime will never end. But it is the continuous support to the system and making it difficult to do that. The $100 million drug suspect did not vanish. They did not disappear. I don't agree with Aliyah Kamara, Delani. They did not disappear. The people were there. The people knew. They brought the wrong people to the court. I'm telling you the truth. They knew what was behind it.
Of course.
So that's why I want to end it on for the drug issue today. So the brother who sent a text message said we can't discuss the drug issue. That issue we not discuss. But I know you like the
we do it all the time.
You have always say
Yeah,
that
he let him discuss it.
that
Yeah.
some brother drug. But when saying I want to get an action.
And thank you, Mo. Welcome to the show. And I want to say this, and I want to say this about Liberia before Mo comes in. Here in America, before we came to America, before most Liberians came to America, we thought America was heaven. What the Americans learned to do, it doesn't matter with all the shootings that happen here, with all the crimes that happen in this country, they always present their country positively. The marketing of America, it is a big strategy by the government and by its very citizens here in America. You can have anything here, anything bad. The Americans will pin this country as a heaven on earth. If we want good things to come to Liberia, we have to present Liberia in a positive light. It doesn't mean bad things are not happening in Liberia. You go to the Ghanaians today, they present their country positively. If you went into Tanzania, they do the same thing. But what we do in our country, we tear it down now. Don't misconstrue criticism of an administration to tearing something down. That's not what I mean. Because if we have somebody that's not doing the right thing, you criticize them, it's not the same. But I want you to always present Liberia positively. This is how we grow as a society. But if you say because some girl was raped in Ganta, that means that you raping getting all over Liberia, then you presented the country negatively. This is the point I'm trying to make. Mo, welcome to the show. Your comment on this drug thing or Ellen Johnson said his statement. I don't know if you listen or you need me to play it for you. Let me know.
Well, I've been seeing two statements circulating from her. One about she didn't get down for mental family.
Yeah, that one with lead that woman, that one that you're throwing talk.
And then the other one where we have to create the better environment for investment to come.
Yeah.
You know, let me start off. I'd rather talk about the drug issue. Let me start off with that person who said we can't discuss the drug issue. And I will tell you this. If you want to hear the lies about the drug issue, how that the government are bringing the drugs, how that all the government officials involved in the drug issue, how that cooking money we eating, how that cooking money we running the drugs way. Go listen to Senator Snow. Go listen to Rodney. You see, the thing I like about the advent of social media and these discussion platforms is that anything you want to hear, you can hear it. It just depends on where you go to hear it. When you come to Class Reloaded, we will give you the facts. Because most time when we come to discuss here, we have had discussions with the people that matters on the issues, the people that matter on the issues. We do not come here to discuss out of speculation. We do not come here to discuss on hearsay, deceit. You want us to say the government is not investigating the drug case, you lie. There is intensive investigation ongoing. And let me tell you what the president has said. I can't say I'm sounding low again.
Mo, you already go ahead.
The president has told the security sector that even if my son is involved, do not have mercy on him.
Simple.
Even if my son or any family member, any of my sons involved, don't have mercy on them. Because that is not what we fought for. And let me tell you one reason why the guys are so much beyond Jojo Bwaka. That's because, let me not say, Gregory Cuomo. That is because Gregory Cuomo is very vigilant in this drug fight. This thing did not start today. They started exporting drugs in containers way back. And nobody cared. And so they wanted to, every time people come, they want incorporate you. They want incorporate you. They can't stand like, oh, you know, Mo, you my brabby, this and that. I'm involved with the business. I'm exporting cocoa. You know, I just want to let you know. And then they start giving you money, small, small. So all those tricks, the security people heard of them. They are investigating people, and they put out list today as I was hearing. I didn't even see the list until this evening. One of my friends was telling me they put list up, and the citizens themselves know who they're doing the drugs thing. So I put out a video today. I don't know if I share it with you. The person who put the video up, they say soup or mashing and all kind of things. I get it through the read, people start running behind it. So, Chief, we will give the investigation a chance. And what I know is that there will be no sacrifice. We will not follow the people who lying. Today somebody was telling me, oh, you know, you not tell Rodney, blah, 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 blah. Rodney got evidence. I mean, police people, the DEA, the NSA, they're looking for evidence. Then people just get evidence, they hide in it. Then you say you patriotic, you want people to fight drugs, you don't want drugs in the country. How? If I had evidence, I would submit it covertly. But if you just get your evidence, evidence you can only talk on a radio station. So we discuss this drug issue or you want to discuss the cartel? Yes, they did a video. The cartel that can cause
the cartel here. We discussed the cartel here, Mo. We discussed everything here. The problem here. Yeah, they want us to discuss it away.
And let me say this. They took those cartel members for a reason. The two guys. They bleaching, so they cover their faces. Their hand got white from the bleach. And so they make it look like they are white Colombians and all those kind of things. Spanish from Colombia and blah, 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 blah. So we discuss that drug cartel every day. On the Ellen Johnson Sally statement, she see what's happening in the country.
Yeah.
So I am not going to talk about it. The only day, I believe she still want to fight Joseph Boakai. So they will continue, but she's not going to succeed. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. Before we talk about it, man, we got Cow in Grand Crew County. In fact, a lot of people in Grand Bassa County were singing something all yesterday. When they turn the machine or come here, I forgot to play this short video. Y'all listen small before we go to our Cow talk. Who say the boy grandmaster were not happy for the machine? The other propaganda again, Allah. Look, y'all gotta find something that is not easily provable. We saw videos upon video from River G to Zwedru to you name it. It was all out there. But we just want to talk briefly, man. I know we began the show today, but before I forget, today is a happy anniversary to the president, a 54th wedding anniversary. That's a long time of being in a committed relationship, setting a standard for the young generation of our country. Happy anniversary to the president and his wife, the first lady of the Republic of Liberia, Katuma Yata Boakai, for the 54th wedding anniversary. Can you imagine this? This is a big deal. I don't know whether you, Mo, or Councilor Ma want to wish him happy anniversary before we go to the topic on our cow talk. Mo, happy anniversary older than you.
Mo do all I want for you know.
You're not older than
Hey, older than me too. I see.
That Mo do that one for that Mo close to the paper. You carry our felicitation to you.
I already posted the photo. Instead, I posted.
Thank God.
We'll see it tomorrow to tell you happy anniversary.
That's a big deal. That is a big deal.
Everybody will do that today and everything, so I'll tell him tomorrow.
So in Grand Crew County, what the Ministry of we spent very short time on it because it's 6:19, maybe about 10 minutes. The Ministry of Agriculture mode, they have brought in 200 cows. The Pape realized that he wants us to be full self-sufficient. This is the publication on the Ministry of Agriculture website. And just the first two paragraph here. The Ministry of Agriculture has announced the arrival of 200 live Muturu cattle from Guinea and Mali, a major step in the government's effort to revive the livestock sector and strengthen national food production under President Joseph Yaman Bwakai Liberia Feed Yourselves agenda. The Agriculture Minister Dr. J. Alexander Nuta stated that the cattle will be distributed to farmers in Grand Crew County, where the government will also rehabilitate the county ranch through the public sector investment program to support sustainable livestock production. The Babe is not just talking, he's doing exactly what it takes to transform not just the other sector now. We are aware pretty soon, hopefully before the end of September more, there will be 304 agricultural products coming to the country, machines coming to the country to boost the agricultural sector. And we're talking about job provision in the country. A big deal for these cattle. And Councilor Mann was telling me that Grand Crew County, I've never been, that is a great place for grazing land. I'm pretty sure the agriculture ministry knows this. So all the plenty cow, to say to what they taught in Liberia to take cow from Mali down the team, but how you carry it, something like that more. They taught. I don't know if man to bring 200 cow.
At the beating,
Oh, at the beating, yeah.
I don't know how sure they. No people can walk with those cow and bring them.
Yeah.
So the cow can be even small. They start bringing them, they grazing along the road.
Yep.
For 1 month, 2 months, and then they come and reach to the
destination.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just hearing this news.
Oh yeah. They were distributed. They're already in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
200.
200. All going to Grand Crew.
I think they will give people pairs, right?
Yeah, they're giving farmers pair, and then the agriculture ministry will monitor them so they can grow it. Then they take in some to carry to get new baby then to be distributing to farmer, maybe in Lofa, in Kemau, all across the country, but they're starting with Grand Crew.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm hoping is that
I mean, I think when you to do it, you sell one, you get money.
Of course. It's $900.
Yeah. But one thing I'm hoping, because it is the same story that I understood with Rwanda, Paul Kagame. And on his recovery, when he just won the first time he won the presidency and the World Bank, the first $1 million he got, he bought cow, cow, and sent it to one of the regions to start to rear the cattle. And the people got pissed off with him and say, "Why are you doing?" But today it's a different thing, because the kind of industry, you look at the strength of where some of his people were.
Yeah.
I hope the ministry has done some good study and good work in that place, because to just go and give it to people too, it is a risk. But they must have people build a ranch and do it professionally. And if they're giving the people to buy or to do it, because when something not for somebody to take care of it, a different thing. All right, people take care of their own there. They got cattle people there. People got all in that place, because I know even my old man there, former Senator Blama Nelson, he's wearing cow in the Pignescence area. And one time, and that's why most of the time I used to let go to Grand Crew, because one time we went, the wife said, "Okay, I will take one of the cow, I'll kill it." What? We're not easy enjoyment. You can't finish the cow meat because the thing fresh.
Ambrose, what you saying in the southeast? I go there very frequently. You see a lot of cattle there, cows. The people, I think they're one of the things that they do. Grand Crew, Maryland, River G, they raise a lot of cow to those places.
Especially in Grand Crew, the Savannah
and Sino. But it's a different breed of cow that I see there from this one that they just brought.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I said
they're very huge. They short, but they big, but they shorter.
No, but it depends. Maybe they bought the cow. Maybe this cow, you see them looking like that, but they're not fully grown. So they brought them to rear them and all that.
And
But
most of the ones I see there, most of the ones I see there, they are black.
what color got to be more? But no, but what I'm saying, that's why I said the breed of cow, knowing what it needs there. But that place is very ideal for cattle rearing, and not only cow, sheep, goat. It is very ideal, and that is how you concentrate the production in the country. All right, because I was hearing something. I didn't read it through, but I was listening to one of the stations in Liberia this morning. I think that was OKFM, and Clarence Jackson were talking about the 300 and something farming equipment that was coming, and the counties that they were going to be concentrated in. All right. So if you find that those particular equipment and those counties are the ones that will be doing rice, cassava, and all those things, then that is good. But I can tell you that that part of the southeast, it is also very, very ideal for cattle rearing, and it's a good move that the government is doing, because eventually you can get investors, as I said, Dwalu, to come and put up a plant that will, first you can milk those cows. You will start producing milk in Liberia. You will start producing beef. I mean, processing beef. The way we can import all the meat, the foreign meat, because this now, because most of the abattoir we get kill the cow and get hang it all something away. But you look at the supermarket, some of them they do they skin it, some of them they make beef, they make patties, they make all kind of things with cow products. But our own, we get kill the cow, we get put the cow food there, put the cow hand there, we get selling meat like that. But sometimes you can even do that. So I think it is for it to multiply, and it will be good for our country.
Yeah, the Ministry of Agriculture is monitoring it, Tenant. It was brought in by the Ministry of Agriculture, and Councillor Ma. I don't think they're giving it blindly. If you guys remember, some weeks, maybe weeks now, or a couple of months back, President Baga said, we're not here to be feeding our people chicken feet. Way back in the day, we had enough meat. We need proper meat. I think they'll play this video briefly. When President Baga said,
I come before you play the video. Look at somebody come to say when the cow grew and I just want it for GB. It is like that easy. Am I going to put the cow
that cow, the agricultural cow.
Why to multiply and get plenty? Don't be killing it. It come every time I say one cow sick. Every time I say one cow get sick, it get cow finish.
No, they're about to pay. Let's listen to the president's more.
A lot to do in terms of food product that come to this country. I see a lot of friends, they are kind. Oh, when Christmas comes, take chicken. We're not here for chicken feet. We are a country that used to produce chickens. And some of these chicken bringing hearts of this and that. We are not here to throw away things to our people. So that ministry we have.
So the president said we have to be Umoti. I was saying very important. We're not here for cold chicken. We're gonna be where we're not here for chicken feed. The president said we eat cow meat. So they brought in the first 200 cow, rear this cow distribution. There will be slaughterhouses. The councilor man was speaking about the cow hide. We can convert it into something for leather. For export, so many other products can be produced out of cow.
Cheese, yogurt, all these things, cow skin, all these things can be processed, and we can do it. But big, you get a cow tend to grow and to multiply.
No, they will grow. They're monitoring it.
Yeah, but somebody said that true. The cow will be lost in it. They give on yama story. Say the cow.
No, not give yama story. They're monitoring no cow.
But just as the president said, I just want to say one thing before Harry takes the calls. Also, I saw a video with this. There's some World Bank project with Agriculture Ministry also, and this guy who is supplying eggs to the southeastern region is in Grange there, and it will be you'll be amazed, phenomenal what the guy is doing. And then there's another big egg producing. In fact, I think if we say factory, then a factory, in Carisburg. Producing egg to supply Liberia. And this guy tells you a story that he started small. And then they get this, I think that retrap, how they call it, some retrap program project or something, some project there. So they started supporting him. And now, My man, the guy's expanding in Grand Jide. Egg prices have dropped in Zwedru. You understand? Because now he's producing and now he's thinking of going beyond the whole Southeast now supplying them with eggs. All right. These are the success stories, and this is not government thing. That's individual Liberians. These are the success stories that we need to be encouraging. You know, I know of somebody else who's doing snail farming. Snail farming, you know, and you'll be amazed the kind of money the person getting out of snail, just farming snails. So there are good things happening. We just need to find and let people know. All right. Eventually, the president says it will be true. All right. That, you know, it's just that probably we have not diversified our diet. Everything we want to eat are rice. But in like personal, you see yam. People bring the yam, it stays for day. People won't buy it, but yam sweet. Edo's there, planting there, all potato, sweet potato there, all those things there. But every day we want to eat rice. But if you eat cassava, you eat this one, the rice reduced. When you diversify your diet like that, you will not be over reliant on rice. Maybe we need to start promoting this kind of different food. That's why I would say. But there are people who doing good, and that guy in Grand Jide, I will find a video, or I will call some of the people who work on that project to send me that video, and also the company that's in Carisburg now that is doing on a large industrial scale doing producing eggs.
Thank you. And welcome to the show, Harris. I think this guy's out of Carisburg too. This one is also out of Carisburg, producing a lot of eggs out there. Let's just watch this quickly.
From Monday to what's today? Thursday. That's Monday to Thursday. And we've got Monday to Thursday from 5 and 6. And you got a little bit more on the floor for room 3.
So we got a few people producing.
So that 4 days
eggs now.
I think probably that the same place I'm talking about. A 4-day production there. Imagine.
Yeah. So if you scale it up, I know if you guys remember, I think it was last year, they're building a massive facility, about $50 million facility outside of Carisburg to produce eggs and chicken that the president visited sometime. But Harris, take some calls from the people in Liberia to the radio stations, man. We say big shout out to you guys for relaying. Let's hear what people all across the country have your calls.
Okay, so we'll go to the lines and take your calls tonight. 0778-665-699, 080-561-644, 0776-293-620, 0776-293-620. This person, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, and good evening to Brazil, good evening to Moradi, good evening to Peter, Charles, and to Mark. My name is Richie M. Stanford, calling from Power Georgia.
Go on.
Yes, two key things this evening on my mind regarding the court issue and addressing those symptoms beyond this after of this evening we got here. He said something on the drug issue. He said, people who wait for alarm and say, oh, we got people named or they don't together and not call name the person, the security should be able to invite them, which is granted. But my question I wanted to ask him, there are senators in our house, like Senator Sulu, who have been saying you got people named, you got later people, and you sit on platform with people calling names. So they're willing to investigate their own to extend it over to the Jones Security for questioning so they can be able to name these people who they say quote unquote are the Jones Security there. And also the issue regarding the cemetery case or so that for me all day 100% I will always vote but sometimes when he tells me somebody's discussion on the issue about the cemetery and say the judge, even though the ruling or he's a free man or everything. There's a main comment about what is the liberal said. Main comment goes on pure step out of
Okay.
What is judge saying was not something that you say, oh, somebody gave them money or somebody gave them that. No. And sometimes we get all of them going around and going that, oh, they're not giving all the why take on the case or why money
Okay, thank you, Olivia. This person, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, George, and good evening to Darius and Bruce Maha, or Ali, Tualu, the rest of all of you. This is Noah Dow Gibson here. Happy belated 26 to all of you. You know, I call quickly. I'm being somehow angry to respond to one or two things. And my anger is not with any of you, the panelists, just to buttress the same thing you've been saying. Let me start with President Salik. You
Now, who's
know,
speaking?
more very diplomatic. For me,
What's our gift?
I will say this to former President Salik. We supported you in this country. And you destroy your own legacy by imposing somebody on this country that, as Duaru always said, lucky Bruna boy, who by virtue of competence in this modern era would have never supposed to have ever been written in the history of our presidency. You destroy the sanctity and the moral value of our presidency by giving power to such a person, which of course you knew that election, he didn't win it. But you did this to put our lives in jeopardy, and God has blessed us through the grace of God. We got you out of it. And then you did your best. You just supposed to just remain quiet. We all pray that, until God gets ready for you. But to be making any kind of comment about the country, that being validated, you got to stop. You definitely got to stop this. It doesn't represent you. You can't do nothing to Joseph Waka here. And then move. What do they want? They're happy. And you will accept it. They are happy. And we're happy again. We're happy. So let's say this. Now, this trust issue, I don't even want to waste my time on, these individuals who trying to think that they can dent the character of the government on the issue of drugs. But I know it's strange to them because it is the first of this kind to see the way the issue of drugs being exposed. The president addressed the nation on June 16 after the five consignment was arrested in 19.2 million on a hit. He said he would dismantle every drug cartel, and it's just what he's doing. Exactly. So if you see, when you hear the arrest of drugs, in the other community yesterday or the arrest the next day, it shows that the network are working to dismantle every cartel, as the president said. So they mean anything to say that we are the ones that bring the drugs around.
Okay.
Now, the way people are coming, the way people used to be standing, walking like zombies all around the light poles and other things, walking like one upon the pole, is that how they are? Nah. Let me just quickly conclude with this. I think in my mind, the issue of the Independence Day, they were well celebrated, and it shows that the country is getting better. To see Liberia in the diaspora celebrating the way, it means that they are pleased with what they see back home. That's why you see they're celebrating the way they're celebrating, and we will celebrate better than that. So, to you, the Independence, please keep quiet. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave you this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's hear you.
Thank you for your program. Yeah, thank you. All of them, thank you. For me, I look at every statement that ended. They play, and all the things that she was able to do, she didn't do it because for corruption. She thinks she said corruption was number one enemy. After a few times, she said, oh, corruption is bonfire. She signed contract. People with joy that don't prosecute my children. So I don't do this. So what I doing it, she getting angry. Well, let's forget her because of her age. Now maybe so let's forget her. Then when it comes to the two senators will get there. Look, I don't know what they want. And so I don't know what the people want. Every day they say they get lean, they get video, they get everything, they get D for the land in Rockville. So we are waiting to see that D. Let it prove it. Let it bring the D also the public can see it. First of all, they said that they were having someone bidding on 20th Street. All their bidding. They go there again, they put it, they don't know what people need us. So that is really a need and compare with the government needs.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave you take more calls 0778 665 699 0776 293 620. This person is right here. Believe in. Thanks for joining us. Good evening, Kwewu. Let's hear you.
So let's not push you out of it. And my first topic has to do with our anti-matter statement against, the president of our country. And anti-matter says right that Joshua was a complete disaster for our country. And then, people say why anti-matter has to be distributed to the city. Joshua people when you should have come to the mansion. The mansion is for everybody. And anti-matter was very right. Joshua himself said it on the Joe community profile when he went to dedicate it. When Carrasco was sending it, when Carrasco and other things, for me, I'm not a politician that these people brought me into politics. When they single at them, right? So he was very clear that he's now a politician. He was misplaced, right? Or he was this is from the who are talking to politics. So he was very clear. I think a job issue, let's be clear. Just Captain as very smart people as strong. They can use the media against people. Who knows as to whatever religion and other people, some of those people who are running around the social media, giving people pay, but all these people need like these people part of it. Who knows what are the jobs? Captain, when you will just go to blackmail, then the investigators, right? So blackmail people and other people who are investigating. Because when they blackmail those people, then if the wrong information will go to the president will have then release and then their will be clear to allow their operation continue. So I don't know. So if you are let me ask more in this question. I don't know what of you. Anybody can answer me this question, right? I don't know as to whether this government is being acting in a system or is dysfunctional. Because if this is when that government is being asked when it's not a citizen institution, with a lot of session officials around, but when we said it is there, shopping official was never session because this was there, you were not operating. So
Okay.
so the CDC government in the bracket within our session, but now I think the UP government has come back. So I really want to know what is being a system. Up to now, we cannot get any of our officials being corrupt.
Thank you. We'll leave you. This person, good
One
evening.
second, Harris. 1 second. What he said right here, 1 second.
It's sad to say that I'm not a politician. I was brought on board by these people, and the people brought me because they wanted something. You understand? So what we're doing.
Go ahead.
Let's hear you. You live.
Yeah, I thank you so much for the platform and the council, all of people. I thank you so much. But you know, one thing is that having is our mother, a respect of life, also. But from 2017, when I was a bad person who studied for 12 good years, 2017, when I went in first program, from that time, I don't let it get ball. I don't let it get ball because the one is the Liberia where we are today, they are the people that who started from this time. And really, I'm thank you so much. I just stand up, I don't want to go too much.
Okay. Thank you. We'll leave you take a few more calls 0778 665 699. This person, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, what I really wanted to have a conversation with this case. I don't know what really happened. I will always come to Patrick. I don't want to say the radio man. If you don't prove the registration, or the system not going forward, and this from that from matter, someone that can be taking back, and I want to be taking back, and I know that the job and the nothing. Who are the people who are the two people? They can see them. You are able to appreciate that. The system of recommendation. I don't want for the registration to be struggling to money to the day or that. So I tell it, other time on him. He's going to live correctly because he's very diplomatic. Let go and they for that money. And he will say, Timothy, go more money to be invested in administration. Administration is struggling for money for administration. Are you kidding me? So I'm going for that. So that's what labor. Very much attention to go.
Thank you. We'll leave you. This person from line 10778 665 Let's hear you live. The name you called from where? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You live.
I'm good. Thank you, Harris. My name is Zebu Fofana, member of United at the Intellectual Bureau in Pakistan tonight. Let me say good evening to the panelists, Mo and the others. I want to talk about the meta family issue, right? You know, that through the hair, the one meta family said, everybody here. So they see when Mamadi Jagite, the late Jagite interview early. He said, now you are about to lead a presidency, but your vice president had a senior race. Over people endorse the man to be a president. So what are you saying about that? She said, all the people that are running for president, they can make a good president, but she wants continuity. So vice president can continue her legacy. When I even read 2 or 3 more, she fell flat. In the own country, which is no far, you go and groundbreak, do the groundbreaking, you take joy where you say the man in two, the man in two, or the man getting a cover, you carry the man there. So if you as well, you do not want to someone that your work made your work for 12 years. What will carry the man of the citizen? They also know, yes, so maybe the man is now good person, that's what they want to everybody sees the manifestation in terms of the city. How did it work? You said that 14 countries, you win 14 countries out of 15. In 1 year time, that 14 countries will tire with you. The by-election that will conduct on the church, how many years will sell it? If they 15 that Abu come out to power, we know what happened in 2015. In some country, we know what happened. So they made a record. So what made up of the job we try to do is they now qualify to be a president. The method is capable is not available. They are available because it's capable, meaning not competent. So the competent boy is not available.
Okay.
All judge we have to right in front of me. I already some man is made that statement. If you walk over and say they not position, and I see people walk on to the number so that they can finish with our houses when they started. So the foundation what they do, the one started, but that one, for me, I don't want to know now.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll leave you. Sekou will leave you right there. We'll see 0778 665 699. If there is not a caller from this end, this person is on our very last caller. That is, have you? You live the name you called from where?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Josiah. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. The name remains Thomas F. without calling from Johnson with Father Translation about the mother of the country. Let me appreciate you for your talking for the evening. So, as my friend and brother called, we want you to really do the radio station, but with the same way the other radio station and whatever we get on it, we can see the hard time to be able to get to that platform. And this platform is a particular platform. Let us be able to make this platform, you should be able to make this platform that is any part of the natural of the country you go. The people should be able to be here. Them to be sometimes to even get on this platform, it can very give us difficult. It's not bringing you people to be able to see something about it. Let me appreciate you for it. Thank you very much. I think that's my own effort to give it to you for.
Okay, thank you, Josiah. Very last cutoff for tonight on the program.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, international callers, it's time to place your call. The number here is 774-578-1963. Place your call. And we say this publicly, and I'm glad Mo Ali is here and watching as well. And to the principle of the show, we got to put a lot more pressure on our own administration. About the radio here and watching us the country, we got to put some more resources. We make some noise about this to be able to get these radio stations, really more operators to continue on this side because our people are complaining You can be going halfway radio stations and you're having some difficulties, but there are other radio stations. I know Republic radio station reach out to me. You won't be a part of this. If you're in a dead zone, your radio station has to stay on until 11 o'clock for our people to get the whole show. This is very important. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Godo. This is James, calling from Pennsylvania.
You're live, sir.
Okay, Godo, I just have two things to contribute to the show. One, the cartel we're talking about, according to the Justice Minister, came to Liberia 2021, which is 6 years back. We didn't hear about anything until 2026. So we want to tell us that there was no drugs being shipped by these people for the time they were in Liberia. The crime, when the crime is being fought, that's when we hear about the crime. But if it is not being fought, it's always under the cover. So they benefited from the cartel. But now the government is fighting. So it's like they are getting vexed while the government is running behind those who are the in the country. Two, the cow we're talking about. I remember there was cows brought to Kari. When CDC took over, they went there and took all the cows from in Kari and killed everything during their inauguration. They did all.
You joking?
I'm telling you. There are cows to Kari. They went there, all of the cows that they were breeding to give the farmer, they went to collect everything and ate all during their inauguration. They said, we have to them for the cow. Yes. And I know we have policy issue when it comes to these things.
Wow.
Policy is what we don't have. So, like they are bringing in those cows, what's if tomorrow election change around and then they come to power again, they're going to put all the cows to ground food.
You're joking. You know what? It's a news I have to look into. I have to reach out. I don't know who here carry because it's very interesting if that is true.
Sure, it's true. Get me the follow out with the people. It's true.
Wow. Oh, they definitely get that kind of power now because they will eat all our one grain group. Every day, Joe, we will donate one cow and all like one cow. The last thing cow you want to donate to Grand G for those and those dollar refuse. That way you want to. Thank you so much for the call, my brother. That boy, Google G, been unfair. Anything that Google G, that boy will do it. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller. You're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller. You're live.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you. That was so much. Counselor, thank you a lot. Look, I love somebody who is brave into society. I will always say the factual information I will give it to the public. Counselor, God will continue to bless you. Anything you put your hand in will be a success. Value this my suggestion. What I want for all to do in a class reloaded now, that's a need to improve the program.
Yeah.
If somebody can speak better, take a whole day, and it will follow for the message to go across. If you know that pastor, well, let the message go across. What else? Don't just sing like that. If somebody talking something for me, I can look behind you. I'm not looking. Our past president, Mother Ellie Josie Seri, the woman, as a female, you should get her. That clear heart for human being. But what I noticed from today, the first mistake the woman ever made was supporting the lucky brother called Chi. Somebody served you for 2 years. Even you wanted to support the woman, why you put them with me? Just sit down, let people do their thing. But you were brave enough, you carry that ball, the house, you say you're going dedicated, you're going to roll. Today, what I might express, my brother, there's a need to improve this station.
I agree.
You can throw around in there, you got to come out there, say, dead operation, go through the wheel before you get outside. And also come out with you. There's a need to improve this station. But I say, some people are afraid.
Yeah.
They tell them, come out to be that small government, brother. I'm looking at it for me. I want a better country. They say, God will put everything into the process. God will marry our people. God is blessing.
Thank you.
The woman is doing well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The woman is doing well. They're not getting nothing to lose. But so you know, in the authority, you say they will take the green. Your children, you ask my people, the woman not tell my brother.
Thank you.
These are people who have loved into be into society. There's a name my brother will need to improve this system.
I agree.
Thank you for your opportunity.
Thank you. Marcia Snally said when it tells that cow will run the stomach. Marcia, I agree with you. It won't run the stomach. Yeah, if you pass it around, you're a dog butt. Call your live. Your name, where you calling from?
Hello, Mr. Dualo.
How you doing, sir? You're live.
This is Mr. John Wright calling from Trenton, New Jersey.
You're live.
I called to talk again with the professors. The professors are not doing all well, they're not doing all justice. Most of the professors are relaxing in their homes, in their living room, watching the television while the students are in class waiting for them every day from Monday to Friday. They started off fine, but nowadays, all of them, they have arrived, they are comfortable, they are relaxing home. And Mr. Pierre has spoken about it, a lot of people have spoken about it, and they don't want to come to teach us. And at the end of the day, Center Water School will win. And when Center wins, the disgrace falls on them. Why are they sitting home? They don't want to come to class. Why they don't Center will come? Is it because of the job they have now? When they never had a job, they were all in class coming teaching us. But now all of them get a job, they are sitting at home. This is unfortunate, Mr. Dwalu.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate. Play in the background, call them and talk to them, let them come.
Thank you.
Let them come, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Dwalu, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
So much. Thank you.
Yeah, they're getting the message. Your students are calling you professors. The message is out there. This is a battle for the soul of Liberia. It's a serious matter. And color your life. I didn't know where you're calling from. Klubo, you're next. Hopefully.
Hello, Mr. Dwalu.
Your live, sir.
Yeah, this is Alfred Duna calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, Mr. Duna, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is about this propaganda campaign. Half lot is carrying out.
Yeah.
You see, the government has to take it very seriously because it will not have an army of propagandists on our side to begin to counter those things. You know, some people are very weak. They're quick on listening to,
it's true.
Factual things and they believe in it.
True.
So as Gafford rightly said, if they talk about propaganda, they can't even think about Gafford. Gafford was student leader before at the university.
Yeah.
They know how to organize things and so forth. So all what those guys are doing is to make the government very unpopular to get back to power. But I think we have to begin to look at that and work very, very seriously.
I agree.
To counter those guys.
I agree.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dwalu.
Thank you for your call. Much appreciated. Caller, you're live. We'll take the call and maybe one or two more and call your night. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, hi, Dwalu.
You're live.
I'm calling from Baltimore. I just want to say tonight, thank you so much to all of you. I mean, you guys, I don't know what kind of pay we're going to give you or for coming on this show every night and just, talking to us about Liberia. Never give up. And we can never get tired.
Yeah.
Especially Josh Obon, we had 6 years. Man, it was terrible. Terrible. People were so afraid when you go home. You can't even, say anything, and people say, "Oh, you can't talk here." Even you sitting at the restaurant, you want to say something. Oh, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're sitting by. You better don't say anything. Or these people, the likes of Jefferson Kuti and all, Samuel Twain, they are Carlos Gray. But one of the things that really, is disturbing me is Amara Conner, man. He fought for this thing too. You saw him during the election, during that time when they announced the winner, and he was crying. And today to see Amara Conner, just I don't know what the government did to him, or what the people did to Amara Conner that he can go to the Bojo and say, "Look, Papi, this is not going right" or stuff. And he just saying all kinds of stuff and talking all kinds of things. And I promised him, I told him on one of his posts that when I come to Latvia, I'm going to pay him a special visit, and I'm going to, have a talk with him. What we saw for the 6 years, we cannot, not for any reason, go back to those people.
Nope.
Those people only put in power because they knew they could get around him and steal and kill, and nothing would come from out of it.
Yeah.
And that's why when the other family said, oh, that was in his class. His class is in, the football. Nobody said you can come from football and study well and become president. No, that's not it. You can be.
You can.
But that guy never studied. He's speaking. Everybody is holding their breath.
It's never going to happen again, Mama. Thank you so much.
You want to put that kind of man on the stage of Liberia? We can't go back there.
Ever.
For 6 years,
That one can bring me here every day. That will bring me here every day.
Yes.
Because I can get scary. Yeah.
Counselor, I don't know you, but let me tell you, I got the opportunity today. Let me say this. Dwalu got my heart, but Counselor, I love you. Let me tell you that. You remind me of what the guy named the late George Solo. I'm telling you, you remind me. He spoke his mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I love him, And I never had the chance to meet him. I was praying and then he died. But I pray that Dwalu, Counselor, all of you, I will meet you someday.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You guys, I'm so grateful for you guys. And Counselor, please don't stop. Keep coming. Let us not give up. I know the people keep talking about Stephen Johnson, my brother, and all the rest of them.
They will come.
We cannot give up. We fought. Joseph Baka government was the first time in my life I've
Thank you.
my hard-earned money.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. I'll play the people that get it up for you, yeah? I'll take it. Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you, yeah.
Thank you. Global, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, you're live. Don't listen to the TV behind you. Listen to your headset.
Yeah, I'm just calling my topic just in reference to the thinking. Everybody's saying over there, you following this show. I want to sleep now, but I was waiting for this call. That lady just said something about American and then this, that. People, the kind of government they expected, that's not what they want this to say. So that's why God is doing it, that this is not a correct government, so it will be hard for them. But one thing here is that, like what everybody's saying, because I want to show, I really appreciate how you go to the customer there. When news come up, you go on the internet on the other side, people are crazy with different stuff. So then you people got to keep us now, like making us to understand. All the other people, they have to come back. They really need that. That's that. Will call you, call other people saying the same thing. They need to come back. All the other people need to come and join you. People need to be informed. There's obsessed 1990 war that now we're having a government. So it's not an easy. And the thing they're doing now is starting Liberia over. Liberia is coming from grassroots. And so it's a hard thing. This is not easy. People are going to do the battle that people are quick. I'm telling you, don't we see the thing going on? You people the one that we're still waiting for now. Please call your other friends and back. We need you people. You see the devil back there, they're fighting. So they want to set up road breaking. They're coming up with a different story. So like everybody's saying, Councilor Mom, Mo, Ali, what they want in Albert, and all the other people, your please come, we're waiting for you. Fatima, Bill, New York, come. That's what I get to say.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And we take the final caller here for tonight. Caller, you are live. You're the final caller for tonight. You're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller? Okay, the callers are gone. The number is 774-578-1963. Mr. Kwale is live. You're the final caller for tonight. You're live.
Hey, Grace. Dweller.
You're live, sir.
Look, grace and peace to you, my brother. Dr. Kwale here, Western Pennsylvania. I just, as we've celebrated 179 years of existence of independence. I monitor this program from time to time, even when I'm on the highway. Let me use this opportunity to salute to you, Dwalo. I know we talk behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
And Councilor Mine and Brother Ali. The analogy here, I listened to Auntie Miata just a fortnight ago, and I listened to your earlier tape from President Sirleaf. Many years ago, I covered like almost all of the counties as a producer, reporter, did journalism in like over probably 20 years. But I'm in a different profession. So right now, I do ministry in Western Pennsylvania. So here's the analogy I have for Liberia, which is prophetic in many ways. You go to Psalm 105, there's a story. The story is about Israel. It's about the difficulties and the challenges. And it's about how the brothers of Joseph saw out Joseph. What was meant for evil ended up becoming good. And I said that in the case of our current president, Joseph Boca, and that of President Sirleaf. President Sirleaf, from not only a theological standpoint, not only a divine standpoint, I say it because President Sirleaf and we are United Methodists. But I think she did not mean well for Liberia. And what has turned out to be in reality is that what was meant for evil has become good. I grew up as a very little boy in the late 80s. I mean, in the early 80s, but I do remember pretty well my dad was a farmer, and I know the power and the infrastructure development plans and goals of President William Richard Tolbert Jr. In short, I think Liberia is headed in the right direction. Change is pretty slow. Change is a process. But I think from the national perspective, from an African perspective, from a Pan-African perspective, from a global perspective, Liberia seems to be on the right path.
Thank you.
The right path to the building of a better nation.
Thank you.
Let's be patient. I listened to the orator, Dr. Brewer, and there are many, many meaningful and strategic analysis he made. And I think, if I may quote the former British Prime Minister, then Winston Churchill, war. Joy is better than war. I think
Thank you so
we
much.
need to take the posture of peace,
Yeah.
the posture of unity, the posture. The flag of Liberia, the image of Liberia, we are all Liberians. That common denominator is Liberia.
Thank
The
you.
sooner we come to that realization and begin to work together in the spirit of national unity in supporting the current leadership, I think we are on the right path to the building of a genuine and a vibrant nation.
Thank you.
Happy Independence, guys.
Happy
Thanks for what you
Independence.
do.
Happy Independence. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the call, Oilcraft Liberia. This is something I've come up yesteryears. You watching this more. I can't just cry because I you can forget quickly. At the end of the day, there's a bunch of videos out there. But to the audience, man, I'm pretty sure your teachers are listening. The instructors are listening. Everybody's been listening to make sure we all understand Liberia. We got work to do to our professors. You must come back to class. I don't expect you to come every day personally, but we got to make an effort to get at least 6 or 7 people here every single day to make sure we speak to these people. There's a battle going on. And every time you listen to the other people, they have a singular agenda to present this country in a bad light, despite all the good things that are happening to the country. We cannot allow this. For me, I will make a lot of noise in the chat room recently. We got to put some resources behind this thing. And if it costs for us to do that, we will have to do that to get neutral bodies here to do this. We always say this thing. Propaganda is not cheap. We got to put money behind this thing in some fashion and make sure this happens. This is very, very serious. Mo, I know you're in Liberia working all day and coming here. It is the way. But thank you so much. And let's give you so you can leave, see? And go get some sleep.
Raul and Ambrose, thank you for holding. I was actually in a meeting. We at Cape Hotel, and I was monitoring. I saw you alone first, and then Ambrose, and I told the guys, "Hey, I got to make it on the show." I'm happy that we can come here every night, and thanks to the radio stations that are really again. We are trying to get more radio stations on board in Maryland, in no far more. We're trying to get a radio station in Cape Town. We are renegotiating the station in Pomi because it has been down for 5 months. So we will extend everywhere. Look, when we come here in the night, we don't come here to say things that will please people who don't want to hear the truth. We also do not come here to blindly defend any government official.
Exactly.
People can see how we can deal with our own people in most of the time. We didn't campaign for many years. We can't do what CDC was doing. That's why when I speak to the security people, I can also tell them, please, if anybody is involved within our ranks and file, go for it. But for anybody to think that we can't discuss drug issue with lies, is lying. If, I was in a discussion with the Justice Minister today, and again on Saturday, and the one thing we kept saying to each other was, we all see that government people bring in the drugs higher up in the government, and the government knows about it, and we're eating cocaine money and all the kind of thing. So for true now, if that the government bringing it, you will hear about it. Will you? How will the government bring their own drug and they go bust it? So when these people talking, it appears to me like they can take all the brain from their skulls. They talk with the thinking that everybody they're talking to have also took off their brains to listen to them. People can't take our brain from our skull to talk. We can talk with our brains fully intact. I read a post today from one guy they call Patrick Gamoyuta. Because there are 1 or 2 police officers. In fact, there is one police officer in the U.S. in Maryland, Alfred Johnson, and he's into everything politics in Liberia. I mean, that's his right. A police officer will write and say, "Oh, you go bust draw almost 500 million in a house, and you say only $7,000 you found that. That's unbelievable."
I saw that post.
In fact, how can the police be investigating herself? So Patrick Tarr wrote a post. He said, "I am also a soldier, a retired soldier. I live in the U.S. So let me ask them, my friend who is a police officer. How many times you don't catch dirty cabs that are being paid by drug laws, by drug cartel? Why do the police investigate them? So should we term it as the police investigating themselves? So if a policeman committed a crime, who's supposed to investigate them? They supposed to bring Soyapo to investigate them. They're supposed to bring NSA to investigate them. It's also can collect or sitting class reloaded to go investigate them. Who has the statutory responsibility in our country to investigate crime? Who told you say that the judicial system? Who told you that when crimes are committed, every time you say, "Oh, we gotta bring independent people to commit"? How many times have anybody talked about crimes committed in Maryland and they say they must lead the police people and go bring independent people to investigate that crime? But you see, these people who post all of the time, they insult the integrity of our law enforcement officers. They insult the integrity of the government. They insult the integrity of the very Liberian people. And they are easily trying to tell us that we do not have the competence and the capacity to determine our own future, to determine our own destination. That we do not have the capacity to run the government. And so anything happen, oh, we'll run to the American embassy. Oh, we need independent investigators. In America, there are many times in a year about independent investigators. The War Crime Code, for example, they established the RCC, where they only used to kill African people there. They talk about arresting some Western law, they put in America, say everybody must withdraw from there. In fact, South Sudan withdrew from the ICC. America commended them, and they are calling all other countries to do the same thing. Who did the police measure in? Is that the right thing the police people did? The police people should have worn gloves. How can the police people go arrest the man? Why the police people did that? You think now you bring, it will be a whole different story. There's nowhere in the world where they commit crime equal to the US. As a matter of fact, statistics have shown that at least 30,000 persons in the US die by gun violence every year. 30,000. Go check it up. How many persons die by gun violence every year in the US? A way more than the places they fighting war. And you live there and you think it's how many persons they can kill in Liberia? How many times you can hear it? Like, oh, somebody now go attack someone with a knife. How many times you can hear it? When last you heard armed robbers got on and went and shot people? When last? This society, when they talk about real crime, it's not really here like that. Armed robbers said this time you can't even see them. Most likely they can't even get gun. Most likely they ain't even get money to buy gunshot. You know? Let me close on this. The president gave his 26th message. And people say, oh, the president in trouble, the brought in. I mean, he's not taking this serious. For what? People investigating. Why you can't wait? For me, it's just sickening that people think that Liberians are not intelligent people, that Liberians are stupid people. Every day, God sit down on the show and give us a history of Liberia, people who were living before. How come this country declare independence if we were stupid people? Who has been determining the destination of this country? Who has been running this country? Oh, you need to bring independent people to investigate the drugs thing. We will investigate. People will be charged. People will be sent to court. If you not like it, move from in the American police. If you knew you have so much passion for this country, why you go join police in America?
That's it, man.
Why you not can join police in Liberia? If your passion is so much like that, you so love the country you pretend to love, you serve in that country, you serve in another country. The only thing you know to do for Liberia is to run your mouth here. You in police in another country, you can say, you know what, they think too much. I will resign from the American police. I go join Liberian police to help to face the country. That's what patriots do. If you care too much, you know too much, you're the biggest expert in policing in the world, Liberia needs you. Resign from that American police. Come here, join our police. We'll give you rank, be rank. Can help all do the investigation free. When you're in the police, we'll pay you the police salary. Can be head of investigation division. The men who are head of investigation division, the moving a vacancy there, can't there. Start heading our here with your in the US. This is what we do. This is what we do in Liberia.
I'm not putting it, piss me off.
This is what we do in Liberia. When you come to Liberia, you attend to lawless people. When you go by America, you attend to some of you, not everybody. You attend to do. So the people who love Liberia, they serving in different ways. You policeman, you can even toy American politics. America, what you citizen for? One day you're not toying American politics. In the politics, you know how to toy in Liberia. And there's nothing correct that can happen. Oh, Meta Famula talk about George Weah. It should be condemned in the strongest term. Go condemn her. Go condemn her. People will celebrate her. Or now they say, nobody should celebrate. Are celebrating what Meta Famula said.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you, Dwali.
Thank you, Muali. And we'll go to Council of Man. But I'm going to say this, though, before I go to Council of Man. Our people, Liberia is behind. If you're going to go to Liberia and you expect the same institutions to be the same, you're missing the point. We are behind. We need to go fix it. You got to go with a different mentality. So if you're working in a established institution in a Western country and you go, you get a job in Liberia and you expect everything to be gravy, but when you turn the printer on, it can't on. Anything you want, you get all the tools, you get all the budget, and that's how Liberia can work. It's a place to build institution. You got to come with a grit to be able to do that. Councilor Man, your parting statement, sir.
You know, Dwalu, I forwarded. I was going to part that more let bring it to my lecture. I don't think I'm close. Then you bring different lecture. You know, yeah. I was going to part on someone a photo more posted with a paper a Jew in 1970.
I saw that picture. I didn't put it up. You're talking.
You know, the young Jew is short dress. There you go. There, messing in there. Wear top. He wear knitted. He see a young Jew there with it. I got a Jew dress. That woman to lady brother being a long time. What? You know, messing in that way. I'm not rule. He put haircut there. And then there you go. Wear knitted. Then a Jew there with and you were looking like you were very classy at that time. They were not smart, you know. But you know, I'm going to close on that on a light note, but more brought something that, you know, just pricked my attention again. So I beg you me that time. You know, more look, let me tell you something. Common sense, they say, is not always common. People think it's common, but it's not always common. And for me, I don't, you know, for many years, you know, one of the prominent things I did on radio was to do my motivational speaking, my pure power. That's why I put it up here, the pure power. Because I got to realize that, you know, Liberia is where we are because of ourselves, and you won't be don't be surprised with many of us, even in the diaspora, because I can tell you the same attitude that we have in the diaspora, that same attitude back home. Sometimes I wonder. Thank you. So okay, Mo. See, look at the picture. Yeah, look at the Jew. I mean, look at me. You wear tie, school bus tie. I'm gonna knit tie you wear. They get a kind of French you wear, like French you wear. I got a shirt. They wear knit tie. We hair. I'm not ruining the hair to that left side.
No, Bobby Memorial, happy anniversary.
I
But
mean,
go
I'm
ahead,
not
Captain.
bluffing that the Jew will bluffing, man. Man, forget that. But anyway, on a serious note, sometimes you ask yourself, look at the. No, somebody say I'm a leader, papi. Look, you must see a leader, papi. But no, I'm better move there. You thought you were bluffing now with tell a Jew. But see that Jew dress, that Jew a bad Jew. but but sometimes you look at it and ask, look at the attitude of Liberians, even in the diaspora, and the organizations, the various organizations they have. One of the things I realized that most of the organizations they quit to break down. Why? Because accountability. Many of them will tell you, say, "Oh, you pay the money, the pocket account for money again." The same attitude. So I said, so sometimes I ask them, I said, so how do people back home can depend on you now? You come to an advanced country for you to better yourself and be better. But you come the same attitude, you carry on the same thing, the same division, the same pull him down. They got one leadership there. They will not rally around to support to be building and growing and growing and growing. No. They not make political factions in the organization. So when the person out there, they'll bring some the other people will not cooperate. Then the person will do until they move the other people, and then other people go say, okay, say you move out too. We will also do everything, we'll move them too. Just like and that look. The Librarian Association in this Pennsylvania, I think it's been here since I don't know the 70s or whatever. Ask them what single achievement they have achieved in the country, in the US. Ask them. Even if they got office space, one small room to sit and say, if they got one small cubicle a day, the player sitting now to say, yeah, that the Librarian Association cubicle they play, they can sit down and rep people. Ask them. Since the 70s, maybe the 60s, they be established. What have they achieved? Nothing. Because all we look at is division. Yes, and that's true. How I agree. That's why people don't join most of these associations because you don't see it. Everything out of the law for political relevance so that they can get to the power. Then they start talking in liberal politics, then post that, or you come and look at the leadership. But there is nothing substantive in this place. So you won't be surprised when I see negative thought. And that's why during the Independence Day, when I was telling people, look, you can do better than this. Some people are looking at me as if I was speaking Chinese. I said, no. These associations can do better than this. You know how many Liberians work in this home care system in America yet? If you have a strong association, you could own these homes. American government will be sending people to your homes and paying you money, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to take care of these people. Because that's what most of the people do.
Yeah.
All right? But anybody will bring one idea. Once they're not the other idea, they will shoot it down. And the bad thing is, I'll tell you the truth. This CDC, Unity Party, job we are in there and I jump inside it and make it worse. I'm telling you the truth. So these are the things that they do. And you see, again, look, God wouldn't have made it any better for our Independence Day, the preacher and the orator. More Ali, the same thing the preacher said. If you don't know your destiny, your history, you don't know your destiny. The same thing the orator said, Liberia, the people who were on that ground, before even the American Liberians came, they decided they would govern themselves. Everything would do it for themselves. He said, why is July 26 important not to Liberia for the world? Is because the first Black African nation said, we are ready to take our own destiny in our hands and do it ourselves. And because we don't know that history, because we don't value it, today, all of our other politicians are saying other people can't do it for us. So to investigate shooting, They say you must bring FBI to investigate who shot the other man. Look, since I've been in this Pennsylvania Dwalu, I've been here pretty close to 6 months now or so. You know what happened this time? Now my wife can tell me, say, you not put it on. I can look at the local TV, the 6 ABC TV news, the 10 something NBC 10 news, all the news every day they're killing people, every night they're shooting people in the country, every day they're shooting. There's not a single day I wake up and I say, yeah, last night police, in fact, they show police now pull rope somewhere, they not shoot somebody, they not shoot gang, they not do this, they not do this. Every day they're shooting. Is that what happens in Liberia? And when those things happen, who investigates? Even the ICE thing that they're doing when I start shooting these people there around, killing the Renee Good and thing, who investigating and themselves investigating themselves?
Of course.
So how can Alfred Judge Johnson say, how can the police investigate themselves? Why do the police have professional standards in fact, some other police institution, they call it internal affairs.
That's right.
Why do they have internal affairs?
External division, yeah. Internal affairs.
Yes. To investigate their own and the bad cops that are in themselves. Why do people believe that it is only Liberia that...
1 minute, Andrew. In fact, I was saying 30,000 because that was way back data, but the 2024 data from the CDC, that the Center for Disease Control in the US, says that about 44,000 people die from gun-related injuries in the United States each year. 44,000.
But more you talking about the year, I say every morning, every day, there's not a single day. Anybody can write on the platform and tell me say I'm lying. There's not a single day.
Everybody know we city.
The TV on, I ain't hear last night they were shooting. Not a single day has come for me to clap, say, today at least no shooting were here last night. Everywhere they're shooting. So the point I'm saying is that why do people always think that it's only Liberia? And Liberia don't have this, like Mo said. Look, before I went to Accra as a refugee, Doualo, I was in Cote d'Ivoire. In fact, Liberia, the only place in this whole West African region, I see people changing money. They put money in bread basket and put it on the road.
Yeah.
So now they can stack the money on top of each other. That's the only country I see they not do that thing. Money changer in the street. Then you stack the money up and you pull it up and you standing behind it. Some of them are in the bread basket, some of them, they get put on top of the table.
On top of the table.
You hear what? You know do that thing, Abidjan?
You didn't hear Mary, go ahead.
Go to Abidjan, go in the bank to say you're going to change money. The bank tell us are in the cage.
Oh.
You know why they are in the cage? You not see armed robber and go rob bank and open fire. You not see them block the streets. They have police exchanging fire. They turn Liberia fighting war. Why do people always make Liberia to feel as if to say Liberia is just the worst country on the planet Earth? Why you don't like your country? So who the people even solve all the shooting problems in America that didn't believe they come to Liberia to drug problem when they got all the drug problems to solve here? But that's what the orator said, Doualo, because we don't know that our forefathers resisted all these things of influence from outside, because our forefathers said that no, we will govern ourselves, we will do things ourselves, and many of the other countries decided to do everything to make Liberia fail. Liberia has not failed in 179 years. But yet the Liberians don't know that, and we don't appreciate ourselves. We always look for the worst thing in our country and think that other countries are heaven and they are better than us. No, the other countries are picking up their history, their values, and they are moving ahead. We are always stepping down on our own. All right. So you get there, everything about us will bring it down. So when we carry that attitude abroad, even our local associations, I mean, you can tell me if I'm lying. They got a different local association. Ask them what happened. They say, oh, that didn't break down. The other one, the other people didn't see it. The other people in the whole place. Why? Because the same pull him down, pull her down. The one will not do it. This one will not do it. The people not accountable. The people will get their money. They can't account for the money. The same attitude. So when the country depends on you who have come abroad to go back home to help the country, that the attitude will carry back? We can't be destroying ourselves like that. We can't be destroying ourselves like that. That every other people think is better than ours. I was in Accra 1995, 94, 95, when Ghanaians decided to do rebranding of the country, and they brought that slogan, in the whole world, we are the best. Why? Because they had a history that once upon a time in 89 or something, they used to stand online for rice, for salt, for bread.
What came to our country?
I said for bread. They used to stay online in it to buy bread. No bread was in the store. Look, the country was tough. They ran to Liberia, most of them.
Yeah.
They used to stand online to buy salt. When they decided to reclaim the country, they say you can say anything, but in the whole world, we are the best. Because I remember when President Rawlings said, if you don't say you are the best, nobody will say you are the best.
Simple.
If you say you are the best, you will act like the best, because you begin to believe that you are the best. And once you start acting like the best, you will produce the best.
Thank you.
Today, look at what they do in the country. But today, look at what they do in the country, because that affirmation, we are the best. And if you tell yourself, I am the best, I can do it, we are getting better, you will do it. But everything about us is the opposite. We can't do it. We're not doing nothing. Nothing is happening. They build road, you say nothing is happening. They put electricity, nothing is happening. They cash in, they drop people, nothing is happening. What do you want for us to do now? What do you want the country to do? I don't understand it. And I said, well, I want to close up, but because more brothers think, sometimes it hurts. No, it truly hurts. The negativity. You don't even believe in your own values. You don't. And the thing will attract people there. And trust me, people will be 4,000, 10,000 viewers if you were all about negative things on the platform.
Of course.
If every day you're coming talk about who's stealing, who's sleeping with who, eating on their wife,
who wearing short trousers,
who doing that one, all the chichipole, all the gossip. If you're coming to the one, hello, every evening we're coming to have more than 10,000 viewers on this program. When you talking, you post the show say not sweet because you get talking all kind of Google thing, your so positive thing, all the bad that happen in the country. What the bad thing that's happening in the country? Then somebody say they cashing drug. So when you cashing drug, that bad thing.
Yeah. Look at the mentality.
Yes. You say bad things happening in the country. So I ask you, so what is the bad thing that happening? But they cashing all the drugs. Look at all the drugs they cashing in the country. So that bad thing they cashing the drugs? To you, the bad thing.
It's an excellent thing.
So, but again, as I said, I know people may not have the time to call on phone. People don't have the time to write and all that. But I can say for a fact that there are many good people around the world, Liberians, than there are bad people. The Liberians, the better Liberians who mean well are good and many. The only thing we do is that we follow the popular saying that says the reason why evil triumphs is because good people sit down and do nothing.
Do nothing.
The reason why all Liberia is failing, even in the diaspora, is because the good people, instead of coming together to do it, we sit down and do nothing. Like, seriously, myself, sometimes it gets to you. Sometimes it gets to, like, I'm sure, like my sister, Marcia, who will say, I will not join this association because so negative people there. So there's nothing there. But if the good people were there, it will become better.
That's right.
The bad people will either change or they will run away. You understand? But because we, the good people, we just sit down and fold our hands and say, well, let them do it. Mm-hmm. That is why it's happening. Mm-hmm. And so I don't blame them more. That common sense. People will listen to those people and do it because, like brother gossip, nobody want to read. They won't take the time to go read. They won't take the time to research. They won't take the time to think. So they say, they gossip. Oh, President's son was involved in the drug. Oh, then a big news. Then somebody say, but Spoon say, look at the government official house to Royceville. So I asked the person on the football field. I say, did Spoon ever show you the house? Did you see the house picture on your Royceville? No, but they said that government official house. Did you see the house? Because Spoon Evans, because Stanton say on Spoon, so that true. I'm telling you, because Rodney here and say the medication dropped from the government official. You see horse? Today they can show that horse. Up to today, they can't show that house that they say they took drugs in from Royceville because no house there. No drug was taken from any house. But people just come and just say things, and that's what people want to hear. And it satisfies the ego and they justify themselves. So Baka doing the same thing. They person doing the same thing. Yeah, he children bringing drugs. Okay, yes. Me, I know Jojo. For me, if I'm going to say, my man, don't even bother yourself. But it's good he responded the way he responded.
Yeah.
And he told the Liberian people, look, I didn't want to make the same mistake anybody made.
Yeah.
For people to say they made a president's son and go to the person, go talk to the person. I decided to divorce myself from the whole president's son, business and government business. And I inside, I don't even government. In fact, he was working to what in maritime.
Yeah.
By the time I became president, he resigned.
He resigned because
oh, you know the connection, you can use the one. Because that's the same problem we blame President Sirleaf for.
Yeah.
Our children were in government, they were using influence here, they were doing that. So the young man said, anything you bring, me, I don't get nothing to do with Liberian government. Yeah, I can't fault him for being my part, but I got nothing to do with Liberian government business. Anybody who come to me, I tell you, want to do legitimate business, go there. I got no influence, I got no connection in government. I don't want to be there because tomorrow your name will come out.
It doesn't matter. Even by his staying away, his name will still come out.
It's still coming up.
It's still coming up because that's how we are as a society.
It's just coming up because the people who speculation who were saying that they want to bring other president's son or vice president, they're looking for one government official to put in the drug business. That the effort and it's not working. They try with vice president in work. Then I try with the president children in work. Then I try with the president in work. I don't know what they were trying with. But the point I'm making here is that we cannot continue to just be negative about our country and thinking other people will run it for us. Liberians, we have a destiny, we have a history of always managing our own destiny. We shouldn't lose it. We shouldn't make other people believe that we are incapable of managing our own affairs. It's not going to be easy. We don't have probably the resources we need, like other countries got still is struggling, but we will still manage it. And I mean, thank the law enforcement people and the president for being focused. And the president is bold to tell people, maybe you know that history, but he tells people that we're not working for NGOs, we're not working for donors, we're not working for World Bank, we're working for the Liberian people. What is good for us, we will do it. We're not going to call anybody else. Of course, in law enforcement, you need international support. That's why they got Interpol, because no one country, everybody share intelligence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dualu.
Thank you. For me, I'm not doing any party. The Babe will be dancing for all as we go home today. Because the Babe will book it down for all small things. Babe, dance for all, yeah.
Look at that woman there. That woman there.
I see the Omar.
Look at that woman every bluffing lot now.
Oh,
they make it the.
Isn't it about it?
Look at.
That's the way. You're going to win.
That woman there.
But not even Omar.
Omar, okay, Babe. Actually, make me get one stroke. Yeah, watch it. Omar, come get one stroke.
Babe is doing well. Continue on his path. President Baga is doing great.
I will ban our destiny.
Yeah?
I will ban our destiny. Doing well on.
If I'm doing well, only way I'm not doing well.
On our destiny, doing well.
Yeah. Very well do. If I'm going to do Buga.
But more look at that picture. That picture, what you put, that is a picture. Tell me, honestly, how you see that picture there? They won't.
I got too much.
You know, we did it in color. Let me see if I can see.
You did it in color?
Yeah.
Look at your man. Your man wear beater. He wear they kind of form. Then they Jew. Tell her that. Yeah. You.
Let me see if I can send it to you. Send it to your messenger.
Yeah, my messenger is better. I don't see no color here. I don't know you guys
I'm sending it to you. I just send it.
May I put it on the cruise?
Okay.
Let's see if it brought out the real stuff.
Yeah, let me load it real quickly. All right, more Ali.
I think it brought out the real.
And okay, in color, wow, it's nice. Yeah, it did. One second. Let me upload it. 1 second. It takes a second.
Over Jersey, if I go play football, wear handkerchief around you.
Hey, Demo.
Wow, you shopping you. No, they want to AI.
They're shopping it.
Oh, they
want to AI.
But you see, it's AI generated.
Let me see the other one. Hold on.
Ask it to say.
No, but this one, it's I want to see.
Yeah.
No, but the color is shiny. But we can choose to.
Yeah, but we can choose. We know what I'm doing.
Yeah, really later.
Hey man, to the audience, you're taking plenty.
Yeah, man. We'll see tomorrow. We'll be here as long as we can. You know, in the America here too. Like dwelling, we're not going to dwell in a place, so we got to try to hustle to survive. So
yeah,
if we find something to do and take us from the show, but I don't think so. We'll still be working on it.
Yeah. Thank God for that. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah. Liberate developing. This is the Class Reloaded. The #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing J&B and JKK progress all across the country.
Oh, the Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Showcasing progress, Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today. Hey. Oh.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change.